You're jamming with the hottest disc jockey. DJ Dork Genius. Be sure to send your music and beats over to ThatDorkyReviewShow at gmail.com.
Hey, 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 hey. Who's Prodigy with the heat? Buy a drink, take a drink and then fade away. I'm twirling head spinning way more than a record place. And I'm going round, round, homebound now. Money comes slow, I gotta calm down. I'ma get it by any means. Yeah, take a crack at it, it'll have you just like a fiend. And I love this drug, she performing in this scene. Oh, like a movie, I'm probably Spike Lee. Cut in the lead, life to keep you on your feet. 10 toes, more hoes, pretty clothes, and take a seat with no reservation. Know my family gon' A. Yeah, like I say, know my family gon' A. To the east and the west and the rest of the nation. The shawty stay cozy, but I'm never complacent. I gotta do it. I'm banging, I'm boom, boom, banging, bada boom. We banging, we boom, boom, banging. Ain't know that chick got it, I'm on the chick rocker. And we on it, I'm a lead and you follow. Let me put you on. Be a stone and be solid. Everybody rock, side to side and stay solid. Ain't know that chick got it, I'm on the chick rocker. And we on it, I'm a lead and you follow. Let me put you on. Be a stone and be solid. Everybody rock, side to side and stay solid. Oh hey, 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 hey. Let me put you on. Be a stone and be solid. Everybody rock, side to side and stay solid. I really get.
We got 6 minutes and 38 seconds till we officially start. Gotta fix my banner, but we all good. What up, y'all? Where you been, Muggs?
She say turn me on.
I just wanna
know what do you want from me. I got you in the zone. She lick the lips and tell me that this song's for me. While she bust it down, ooh. Look at her lips, look at them hips. While she bust it down, ooh. Jump on this dick, rub on your clit. While she bust it down, ooh. Give me a kiss, yeah. I just wanna know what do you want from me. While she bust it down, look at the way that she licking her lips. Look at them hips, she a stallion. Got her leaking, matches squeaking. RBCD, turn up the volume. Giving me air while I touch on your hot spot. Like boom, 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 then your heart stop. Hit it with the leg on top. Nah, it's a hole in my heart like top dog. I don't wanna love no more, but I love that though. I'ma give you that la. Smoking on this za. Tell me one guan and pop twat. Till we go chill at the casa. Su casa, mommy, come put it on me. I bless the cheeks like yes indeed. If you do, just make sure you do it for me. We can just get the damn freaking on the weekend, yeah. We begin. She got me diving off the deep end.
1, 2,
She
3.
said, turn me on.
Share it up, hit that like button, tagging artists. We just started.
I got you in the zone. She lick the lips and tell me that this song's for me. While she bust it down, ooh. Look at her lips, look at them hips. While she bust it down, ooh. Jump on this dick, rub on your clit. While she bust it down, ooh. Give me a kiss, yeah. I just wanna know what do you want from me.
Choking from them, little nigga, I ain't with it. I'ma put a couple holes in your fitted. I lay down, nigga, do a sentence. I'ma give you 2 reasons why. I cannot play with you for niggas. I got a Mayan true. Them my little ones, so nigga, I'm stuck with it. So if you take it from me, you take it from them, little nigga, I ain't with it. I'ma put a couple holes in your fitted. I lay down, nigga, do a sentence. I'ma lay down, nigga, do a sentence. Kick back, nigga, looking at the ceiling. Fuck them, nigga, I get silly. Keep it heated cause the world get chilly. Don't ask me shit, ask Siri. Mama said, baby, you gifted. Act up, get cooked like chicken. Calm down, man, but it's like Ritlin. Where I'm from, my nigga ain't safe. Banana clips make a nigga go wait. Rod you to put food on they plate. Ain't worried about a bitch, I'm straight. It's different when you can relate. They don't wanna see you win this race. You can see the hate all in their face. Keep going, my nigga, be great. I'ma give you 2 reasons why. I cannot play with you for niggas. I got a Mayan true. Them my little one, so nigga, I'm stuck with them. So if you take it from me, then you take it from them, a little nigga, I ain't with it. I'ma put a couple holes in you fitted. I lay down, nigga, do a sin it. I'ma give you 2 reasons why. I cannot play with you for nigga. I got a my in true. Them my little one, so nigga, I'm stuck with them. So if you take it from me, then you take it from them, a little nigga, I ain't with it. I'ma put a couple holes in you fitted. I lay down, nigga, do a sin it. What's in it? 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 What's in it?
All genres are accepted, in case you ain't know.
So I went to a party, and then hoping to meet someone new who doesn't take speed. Walks to the kitchen. Who should I see? A disciple of Escobar, holding court in front of me. Pause for a moment. I had a little think. Went over to the sideboard and poured myself a drink. I turned to face him.
We'll start reviewing music as soon as we get officially started.
Your stories he said they fascinate me.
What is it saying, Nick?
If you don't like me, you can get lost or hip toss. I give you sick thoughts like Rick Ross and lip gloss. If there's a dope song circulating, it's his fault. Saying that we in the same genre, that's an insult. For music's sake, they stay humble whenever they appear. Cause shit is how we blazing here, it feels like Satan's near. I'll take a dab to go to sleep, awake and make me clear. Face it, we're high enough to have a whole space career. Displaying fear is a weakness you never see in me. Deeper than the frequency, praying to rap's deities. Indeed, the speech, keep it real, he conceal. Keep it still with me, wheel spinning like Ezekiel. Every feature killed, every beat that I produced is dope. Loser don't think you affected me, I'm in cruise control. Relax, I'll drive you crazy with the rhyming schemes. I'm the pictures, I paint the picture for your eyes to see. Fuck it up, that's what I do when I'm in the booth, spitting like I got a tooth missing. Listen to the new shit and fuck it up. Give them a hell of a show, still developing flows. Nobody ever get close, get game to fuck it up. That's what I do when I'm in the booth, spitting like I got a tooth missing. Listen to the new shit and fuck it up. Give them a hell of a show, still developing flows. Nobody ever get close. You know I never, 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 you know I
I have to wait for.
I'm tired of us and us being here. And you be fussing and crying, but I don't care. Why do we keep going up and down in this relationship? This relationship, yeah. What is love when you don't let go of my past mistakes? You've been trying to forgive me, but you still don't trust me, babe. It's about time we stop playing games. You know what I'm about to do. Things will never be the same. So baby, me and you should break cool. Cause girl, I had enough. And I'm walking out of your life like left, right, left. Left, right, left, right. Left, right, left, right, left, right. Left, right, left, right, left, right. Left, right, left, right, left. I'm walking out of your life like left, right, left, right. Now you in my face and full of truth.
Oh, snaps. I was just in like full playlist mode and shit like that. I was just going.
Be sure to send your music and beats over to ThatDorkyReviewShow at gmail.com.
Please send your records to ThatDorkyReviewShow at gmail.com or get ready to die. Ha 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 ha.
Autobots, share the stream.
Bro, it's 2 in the morning, fell asleep and I'm yawning. Waking up on the lawn, I'm seeing blue and orange. People follow me to school and copy me until I stopped and put my music on. I'm just crawling like a zombie, gnawing on a Nazi, probably in his uniform. Born identity, homie, you've been warned. My brain is soaring like a unicorn.
I I got it in like full DJ mode all of a sudden and stuff. Big salutes out to everybody freaking tapped in right about now. If you're new to the show, pretty much we're a live music reaction and review show for independent artists, producers, and bands across the globe. You can send your music in to the show, whether you have something you just released, you have had it released for the past 20 years and just haven't got discovered yet. The only thing that I request is not to send any radio centric records to the show. All that means is, don't send us artists who are already signed to major record labels, Drake, Kendrick, insert in every genre, and a big artist who's been on a big stage, out there, and just equate that to that, right? Don't rap on their beats either. Same thing for a lot of you guys who may do a cover of, I don't know, a Mariah Carey song or something like that. If you're gonna do something of a cover, do a rendition, right? Renditions and official remixes go a step further from the standard, like, let me just rap or sing to this instrumental, man. When you do a rendition, you remake the beat, you do something a little bit different, you make it yours, so that people kind of want to figure out, where do I get the new version of that piece of production. And you guys will often know it when you hear it. There are certain artists who have been able to do really good, kind of remixes of, known records and like take it into a whole new direction. And that is the best way I see to do it, because the bigger artists, you want to impress them too, and have them feel like, you at least paid homage to, whatever their original, song was. But yeah, I'm your host, Nonsense, aka Dork Genius, aka Chris Nonsense, aka your mama's favorite dork, aka your dork for hire, aka El Dorky Corbon, aka Dorquizo 15, aka the dork of many names. Pretty much we are a live music reaction and review show, so ain't nothing more to it. We are live, of course, on TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch all at the same time. And again, if you have music, or if you know somebody who makes music, everybody I know knows somebody who makes music, right? Whether they work at your job, go to your school, you meet somebody on the bus or whatever. If you discovered somebody independent you want to show love to, you guys are welcome to do that as well. We do play one song per artist or per submitter in the lineup. So if you send one record, and like, let's say you're not in, because we have a skip line and we have a free line as well, right? So let's say if you get played in the free line and we play your full record, all the way through and review it, you are through with your free line submission of the day. Any extra submissions will have to be a skip. Always know that. And for artists who do skip the line, not only do you get quicker, you get played quicker, but you get more than one of your records played in a back-to-back fashion as well. We also don't cut your record for any reason if it happens to be ass sauce with cheese, freshly squeezed with a bosom flying out of the hat.
Sir Mike, this song's gonna burn like some hot sauce from Hot Ones in your eyes. Birdman will talk to an actual bird like I'm gonna chew through this beat like a termite. Don't make me put you where actual worms lie. Don't like my old shit, I'm thinking you were high. Like me when I'm looking down at a bird's eye view. When I'm cool, better act like you surprised. Head to McDonald's, I'm about to steal your fries. Standing outside.
Did I go through did I do my AKAs and stuff? I think I did my AKAs. I don't even know anymore at this point, man. We go through so many damn spills of this show. No Tidal and Apple Music either. We don't have accounts with those, so they either won't play or they'll play just a snippet. And I feel like we need to hear, if an artist can make a full record. Snippets don't do it. I hate short records as is. If your record sits somewhere like below 2 minutes, I always feel like there's way more work that an artist can do. I hate that some of you guys rush through records. You feel like quantity over quality is a better move. And I feel like when everything is said and done, if someone goes to some of y'all catalogs and just presses shuffle, right, you won't have a structure to a lot of those records. Again, they come and they go. you know, and you're really only showing people minimal of what you can do as a producer as well. Like, I feel some type of way if I made, you know, a good amount of beat and actually put, you know, effort throughout the cusp, and you only take 1 minute or so, and then, you know what I'm saying, just move on and shit. Like, trust me, I know all the different ways to really get in there. We'll sort of you know, talk to you guys as we go throughout each song, and you know, do that. Nick Lowe, you should have, your thing should have come through now or whatnot. So just in case you were wondering, yours is in the lineup or whatnot. We are gonna go ahead and start right now, so we don't take too much time. What up, Golf? Welcome back. Sarah Dorky, you know what I'm saying? Hope that Taco Tuesday, you know what I'm saying, was on your plate tonight, man. Listen, I should take Taco Tuesdays, you know what I'm saying, literal, and always, like, listen, we every Tuesday we had to have tacos. Maybe I'll start next week or something like that, you know what I'm saying. We'll see what's up. Hold on, let me see where we are so I can jump in. Block Life, you should be first up. You sent a freestyle. We'll see what you have. And I think that's it. Oh, if we reach 100 by the end of the episode, in terms of artists skipping the line throughout the show, we will do a giveaway. For people who don't know, we do a lot of different things on the show. I'm waiting for the actual thing to go. We do different giveaways on the show. You're able to win free skips, free beats, free mixes and masters, free interviews on the show, merch, and more. And so if we ever get to 100, 200, or 300, we always spin a giveaway wheel, not only for the person that got us to each tier, but at the end of the show, we sort of, everybody who has, you know, rode out with us, if you're still in the freaking building, we'll go ahead and put your names on that same wheel.
I think I've taken too many drugs and I'm in another universe, and I was trying to get buzzed in the studio and do a verse, but now I'm seeing an image of Coolio on Jupiter. If I was in the hospital, I probably want to do the nurse. Out of all 80s movies, I'm watching Ferris Bueller first. I'll walk right up to a bully and be like, homie, do your worst. If you don't got any gas, a freaking Razor scooter works. This one ain't for the kiddies, so Super Steve, you can curse. I'm spaced out in like 5-20.
Alright, let me see. Reaganomics said that he sent a skip as well, so we will put that on in first, and then we'll well, actually, no, we had this first, right? We were already in here. We'll put in Reaganomics next up.
You already know who on that beat, nigga. La day they left a stain.
Is it?
Yeah.
Somehow I feel like he gonna slide. I don't know why. Let's
We
see.
smoke any art, then we hit it and pop up. Just give me the drop on your spot on Morocco. If it just smoke, we pull up with Glocks. Pussy boy, make sure the back door lock. Got more time, need no clock. All these hoes telling me just stop. I'ma just beat her little back, then I leave her. That hoe ain't special, that hoe is a eater. Little pussy boy try to reach for the Glock.
Ain't no way you
already
finna
know
do that.
The pussy got pop. Little pussy boy, I know where you stay. Little pussy boy, I know where you lay. Shoot the pussy boy in that motherfucking face. I'ma do the Ray J like TK. Skirt. Little pussy boy, I ain't really with the chit chat. Little pussy boy, I ain't really with the knick-knack. Shooters hopping out no black, let me get that. I just took a sack, he just took a loss. Nigga fuck the coast, I'm a young boss. Nigga drippin' sauce. Soon as I seen the pussy boy, he ran. Ran so fast, call him Dirty Dan. Hit him with chalks, hit him with mops. Boy, you a up, get off the block. Why the beat stop? I fuck with so many Zoka they truth. Can't fool with you. G kick the booth. Stay in the booth. I speak the truth. I stay in your tooth, just like a sweet tooth. Bruh steady capping, bruh steady rapping. Pull up on him, while bruh flagging. Shoot up his crib, there's nowhere to stay. The glizzy's tucked under my waist. Shooters moving silent, they do what I say. So you better pray or get out the way, cause I'm finna slay. Y'all pussy nigga, you know how I'm coming, nigga. Your next wanna blow up, nigga. You ain't with it, get low. Pussy ass nigga.
Listen.
When I'm backing it, just let it die. When I figure hear a beat that you rapping, figure two, and I'm actually rapping. If you're attacking it, attacking it, attacking it, attacking it, attacking them in the back of them.
Anyways, big freaking, so listen, you guys like that shit even more in there, man. We'll talk about this, right? This was quick, very quick. If you know me, I know where I'm gonna go in this. First off, hey. You know, I will say, like, where do I want to start off? First off, you know, he did slide that shit, right? You know what I'm saying? He had a good energy within There's always that part of me that always wants you guys to be able to fully perform as much as you can, no punch ins, because when you punch in, like, you have to think about it like this, right? When we hear artists punch in like this, it feels like the song is still incomplete, right? Because we visualize exactly what you did. Like, you said 1 or 2 lines, sat there, thought about the next 2, came back in, and decided, and recording like that is the most annoying thing, by the way. You know what I'm saying? For those of us who are engineers and we have to record artists, we prefer when you are professional, prepared, and, basically hopefully know your song before you even come to the studio. And the aspect of, whether it's freestyling and sometimes, it's completely off top. I feel like if you're gonna freestyle when it is an off-top thing, right? The aspect of people thinking you're dope in those aspects is if you can go all the way through without falling off and while still saying dope shit, still having, a dope, flow within, basically still having the confidence, right? If you can't do that, write the freestyles. I guess there are written freestyles too. Essentially, in most cases, it's just like if you write so much, right, that like if you go to places where they are kind of like freestyling, you're still able to pull out at the drop of a hat any of those raps, and you use them once, never again. Okay, you have to understand, if you do those types, you're required to spit it once, and then you basically forget that. Let it live in that environment that you spit it in, right? So if it's a Funk Flex freestyle or freaking, five fingers of death on Sway, right? Do not spit that same verse that you did on any other song, right? It has to sort of, we have to basically get the vibe that you can every new beat you hop on, you want to spit something, different too, and you just have that much, right? So there's that aspect. Mix was fairly decent, nothing too crazy. Again, it's a freestyle. Was this something, short and chill? I think we can see, the talent. But also, there's that part of me that I got kids myself, and like, if I had a son your age, essentially, with that kind of, I'm making sure that the lyrics match up what I know you've actually experienced and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way like anybody believes half the shit you were talking about, you kind of live. I believe that if you stick to your age bracket in terms of the content, like, you could be that little badass, kid who, sticks M80s in mailboxes or some shit like that. But when you get above that, like, you do know, like, we're still in that minor, you know what I'm saying? The shit from it, like, for Drake and like anybody who's remotely in that sort of that thing, like, it still goes both ways. So, you don't want to sort of push people in that. If anybody, again, if it was on the opposite end, a little girl essentially saying the same shit opposite, everybody would have a fit. So you have to, you have to know, like, there are artists, I've heard come to the show. They've shown the best way to do, basically what you're trying to do. I know it's possible. I feel like, if anything, maybe he didn't even write it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like his big brother, somebody else got in and then thought, you know what? Just hearing a little kid's voice saying it is gonna be dope. To a certain extent, yes, kinda, right? In the same way where it's like, hey, Linda, you're a bitch. Like, that was the funniest scene in the movie, hands down, when it comes to Wedding Singer. Nobody ever forgot that, right? But it really depends on the context and what you do, and I feel like there's definitely a better way to go in there. You still slid that shit, don't want to take anything away from that, but wait till you get a certain age to put that kind of content out, because what does it do for other kids that are younger than you, will look up to you as you're growing and stuff like that. I never thought I would sort of think about, what do you say? He's a dorky, the feminist. It's not, you don't even know the definition, man. And this is, we're talking influence, we're talking, very specific age brackets for people, right? When they see another person their age out there doing something, right? The younger that you see someone, you go, oh, I want to do that too. When I was growing up, we had what? Crisscross and like Bow Wow. And then eventually Lil Romeo was the youngest after that. And none of them were, you know, like vulgar. They didn't do sort of like content that just felt like way too, you know, like just something like they might have not, you know, experienced or whatnot. So I'm just thinking about it like that, right? And you know, saying these today, and they weren't, you know, talking about that. Yeah, teach that. You said teach the kid to have some self-respect and stuff like that. Yeah, I was like, feminist. What is he talking about? And what you say? Teaching those coming up smarter ways to move will always get my vote, right? And you said punch-ins also set you up to become dependent on backing tracks live. Man, if it ain't never a better way. Yeah, good childhood. Said, am I getting yelled at? Nah. Like, no, it's there are many aspects to why I just don't want artists to rely on the punching in, right? You know, especially like, look, put together the records like that. Know that what you've done, what you do when you punch in and do the record, and then basically you don't go back in, it's still the same thing as if when we write something, but maybe we haven't recorded it yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, we still haven't yet, we have the song, but now we need to hit that record button and put the entire song or verse or whatever it is down and be steady with it. We have to know that we can go out the next day and perform the song. If it becomes something that, oh, this is my new favorite song and shit like that, and then like you can actually perform something tomorrow, you don't want to bring that whole freaking record with you because it'll just feel unprofessional. Go listen. I mean, some of you guys probably haven't been to karaoke bars. I think that's half of the battle right now, right? If you've been to a karaoke bar, you know what it sounds like when someone's essentially singing to the vocals in most cases. Right? Vocals are already on there. Like, it has half of the stuff, you know, there for you. And it doesn't feel like you're listening to the real artist, like, sing their song. Even if a real artist were to sing karaoke over their own shit, it still would be like, bro, what are you doing? You know what I mean? So learn to actually perform your full song, get in there and, you know, rip it up in that way. And then we'll see what's up. He said, I remember Crisscross, man. And let me see. Let me get into ergonomics real quick. We got you. And yeah, I think feminism, at least in my eyes, you know, it always related to females. That's why the word fem is in there, right? So it's really in support of, yeah, like you know, Wildflower said, you know, females, you know, female empowerment, and essentially, you know, not trying to break them down, you know, throughout society and whatever. You know, so wrong word, but I do know what he's essentially saying. Hold on, let's go ahead and put his skip in, and then we'll jump right back in the free line if we don't have another skip. Once again, let's go ahead and give a clap, because again, I do appreciate the energy.
Little pussy boy trying to reach for the wall. You already know the pussy got caught. Little pussy boy, I know where you stay. Little pussy boy.
What? You know what the crazy thing is too? Is that this record is like 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying? At least it was uploaded 5 years ago, which means you sound completely different now. Why are we getting a record from 5 years ago when you should have recorded? Like, maybe if you recorded it today, like, you'd probably, it'd make more sense, the shit that you were saying, right? So maybe re-record it, right? Now that it's been 5 years is definitely enough time to learn everything that you just did right now, right? So do that, come back to the show with it, and then maybe we'll have a whole different conversation.
I know diamonds are the things that you wish that you had, but homie, I'm playing hoes
like this debate. I like the debate in the chat we're having. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, look, I mean, keyword sexist though. You know what I mean? The keyword, and this had nothing to do with a sex thing. It wasn't a male or female. It's a age thing. It's a, like, you know, kind of too young to be talking about certain things or whatnot. And then I thought about it in the opposite aspect of, like, yeah, if it was a female freaking too, it would definitely be you know, inappropriate in that end, because, like, you know, I think no one wants to listen to that from that age. Let's see, where is Oregonomics? There you go. Dr. Venus demo not mastered. We shall see what you have, my friend. And then throw this in. So just make sure no foam or something like that. What you talking about, man? Some español.
Teach me how to think through eyes that don't blink. How to only say what winners say. A smile is just a curve, says my therapist. You are what you heard, says my therapist. Don't bleed when they feed you charm like
bueno, al gusto destino de caso.
not tied to a need. Like the market, cold like the plan. Only a little mirror to check. No one ever cured.
I would never not like a good.
Madness, it's training survive. Justify ways to connive. Keep handshake firm, says my therapist. Keep laughter like demons, says my therapist. Don't bleed where they feed. Keep charm like a weapon, not tied to a need. Like the market, cold like the plan. Doctor,
That's me straight.
work is complete. I smile through teeth. Walk down the street, help me at last. How to be unseen in a room full of glass.
How to get to Sesame Street. That was an interesting one. 2 minutes and 7 seconds of record. You know, usually we'll get something a little bit more potentially, you know what I'm saying, lengthy from you or whatnot. But nonetheless, right, I always appreciate the sounds that you produce, right? It's weird because it'll be very much, you know, like we are. And again, if you haven't never heard of Reaganomics, you know, these sounds are often like we're hearing unfinished, unreleased, you know, potential records from, like, you know, the Beatles and artists, you know, in that sort of like early you know, era, right? And you know, I appreciate that, right? Because of course back then recording sounded a lot different. The way they would, you know, sort of mix and master records, have, you know, certain effects in there, just the way that things sounded were very, you know, different. And I'm very nostalgic, right? So if you can create something new that somehow sounds old like that, that's the equivalent of going and doing a music video on, you know, some of the first, you know, like video cameras and things that they used to film, you know, like early movies or something like that, right? Or even more, right? Let's think about Rob Zombie, right? I always loved Rob Zombie's directing style because he was very much nostalgic of movies that came out in like the 70s and 80s. So when he remade like Halloween, or when he did like Devil's Rejects and House of a Thousand Corpses and stuff like that, those movies felt almost like they did, you know, come out, you know, within that time frame. Like he was able to show that love to the visual style and stuff of that era. And it would even use actors that were popping back in the 70s and 80s as well in some of the movies. So it would really have that authenticity to it, right? So the fact that you're able to recreate and original records at that, it's not like we're hearing covers of, you know, some early Elvis or Beatles, you know what I'm saying, records. We're hearing something original that is able to harken back to a very specific sound. And, you know, I've heard a few artists who've done that with 80s, you know, with new 80s music, quote unquote. And I love when an artist can do that. Now, it does beg the question though, right? Like, are we gonna be completely fine with, like, let's just say like he releases the record, you know, as is, or any records that may sound, you know, similar to it, right? Like, do we at all want a re-recordation of these, or do we want these to just be as they are, intact, and for them to embrace that sound, right? Like, even again with the visuals, sort of like filming a new video but making it look like it's old, you know, and you know, that being a part of the get up or whatnot. I mean, it's not like we see anybody else technically doing that. We have new bands, we have old bands that are still touring with their old songs, but we don't have too many new bands or potentially artists that have been out this that haven't, you know what I'm saying, got out there in that way yet, but that have that sort of older sound, right? And I feel like if you find the right place to market your records, if you do the right videos, you know, these could really hit the right you know, eyeballs and stuff. I mean, there's still nothing, there would be nothing wrong with actually recording a, you know, a more polished version as well. Like, you know what I'm saying, everything can always be updated. There will be some people who will, you know, be introduced to that version and, you know, and want to go back, right? Always remember that if you are good enough, right, people hear a song, they'll go back in your catalog, see what you have, and if any of your things are, you know, those throwbacks, earlier sounds, you know, they'll appreciate where you came from by going down that rabbit hole. But you still have to make sure you reel them in with one thing or another, and so that goes for everything: live performances, music videos, making sure that you have both clean records and, you know, if you have, you know, an explicit version, if that's what you do, you know, making sure that people just see you as whatever you are. If you're a producer, if you're an artist, a writer, whatever, like filming that shit, taking pictures of just like you at work, right? At work is in the studio or on stage, just like anything that has to do with you doing music. People need to be the fly on the walls in some ways, and if they can't actually be that fly, you know, you have to be the fly for them. You know what I'm saying? Hit that record button, make sure that people get to see your creative process. I want to remind you guys that, like, there's always someone watching, and we have like new generations of people. When I was a kid and we pretty much just had like MTV and BET, you know, those were the two ways we would even remotely see what artists, you know, had going on in terms of the stuff that they were releasing. But also, you know, VH1, MTV, and BET would do a lot of interviews with them, get to know who all their favorite artists and stuff like that were, you know, what their influences were. We would see them in the studio. We would see Dr. Dre making beats. We would actually see these things, right? So when we saw that, when we thought about getting into it, we were like, all right, I need to be able to get to this point. I need to go to the studio. I need to practice. I need to, you know what I mean? They embedded like a professionality in the generations. After a while, it was like whoever was showing whoever was basically like, you know, I think ushering in the new generations of freaking talent, somebody just dropped that idea out the door of just like originality, of you know, really making sure that you had some substance, a story to tell, something good enough to actually make a documentary about, you know what I'm saying, 10 years from now. Certain people are not necessarily doing it and being serious. They're just kind of like doing it for fun, right? While some others are like, I'm doing this to get me out the hood. I'm really wanting to touch the people. I want to uplift. I want people to know I'm the best MC ever. I want to be the best performer, the best this and that. You know, we cannot ever stop striving to be the best. Otherwise, we're wasting people's time. We're wasting others, you know what I'm saying, around us who, like, literally, man, everybody needs to be competing, trying to be the best, whatever it is. If you guys are on songs together, you know, try to outdo each other every time. That's how you make the best record. If you don't think that it's a thing, go watch the interview where Busta Rhymes talks about the record with him and Eminem on it, right? He said that, like, he made, you know, something maybe about like 16 bars or so like that. Eminem sent back 24. So then he sent back, you know, about like 30 or something like that. And then they just kept doing it back and forth because he was like, oh no, ain't no way he gonna spank me on my track or whatnot. And, you know, like essentially that became the song, just them going in, you know, getting a little bit of a back and forth. And I appreciate that. He said, I miss VH1 classics and VH1 soul, man. Like, listen, once again, we just kind of like take in content a little bit different. We take in content a little bit different these days. You know, where it's kind of online, right? We're really able to just make a video, plop it on YouTube, you know, kind of release it, see what it does, you know, and I want to remind you guys, like, do everything, okay? Have a video to promote whatever you're doing for YouTube, right? TikTok, IG, Facebook, like all of the platforms. If you can, make something separate for each. That way people feel like they need to have every one of your platforms followed to not really miss the full, you know, side of the story or whatnot. But you do need to have something different for, like, you know, like a YouTube shorts and reel and all that kind of stuff. You know, because there's a different audience for those things as opposed to like the regular post that you might do. Often like the reels and things like that on different platforms essentially are shown to new audiences, while your regular posts are shown to your existing, right? And so it goes without saying, like every platform, you know, you have to kind of make sure you have something for each so that you're satisfying, you know, each audience that is tapping in. It is work, and some people, like, they don't even want to be a part of social media like that. They just want to make music. But again, as we progress throughout time, certain things happen, and we kind of need to elevate how we promote, right? Newspapers kind of went out of business, so to speak, right? Like I don't remember the last time like I've seen a paper boy, you know, newspaper stands and people like specifically, like, I mean, and I like physical media too, so, you know, you used to read the funny papers all the time and shit back in the day, but, you know, eventually the internet, right, took over a little bit more. Magazines still exist, but not all of the same, you know, companies. You know, like The Source, you know, had went out of business eventually, and that was the like #1 like hip hop magazine, you know, back then. But everybody gets things differently too. With artists these days, right? Artists and comedians, you guys have two outlets that you can fall back on. Well, no, I mean, both of those mediums have outlets that they can fall back on. You know what? Actors can freaking too. Podcasts are that new middle ground of like, all right, when you don't necessarily want to make as much music anymore, but you still want to talk to the people. When you don't necessarily want to go out, do stand up, telling jokes, you know what I'm saying? And doing that circuit. When you don't want to or when you just want people to really get to know you a little bit more as a person and how you think, right? Go on a podcast, start a podcast yourself or whatnot. People still love to hear people talk. And it's an extra way to really get into the psyche of, you know, just all of us as humans, man. All right, let me jump back into the free line. I appreciate y'all patience.
Bro, it's 2 in the morning, fell asleep and I'm yawning, waking up on the lawn, I'm seeing blue and orange. People follow me to school and copy me until I stopped and put my music on. I'm just crawling like a zombie, gnawing on a Nazi, probably in his uniform. Born identity, homie, you've been warned. My brain is soaring like a unicorn.
Honestly, I you know, there are times where I know I talk a little bit much, but again, we're half podcast, we're half review show, half live reaction channel, half live jukebox, right? For you guys to send in. And I always want to just like always have those times where I could say anything that's in my mind. If my mind is telling me to say it, someone in the chat needs to hear it, right? And even if it's not in the live at the moment, somebody who goes back and rewatches the live on our platforms, you know, they'll get those gems. And you need the motivation to just, you know, really do a little bit more, right? We're in that generation where, you know, a lot of artists will half-ass and not necessarily try to do the best they can do. I want to push you guys to know why it's important to do better, to want to be the best of whatever it is, because you want people to spend money on you, right? Goes without saying. If you see a piece of merch out there, if it's dirty, if it's dingy, has holes in it, and it's not a part of the design, right? You're not gonna buy that thing because someone didn't put enough work into that piece of clothing. Think about it like if you see like letters kind of like semi falling off or some shit, you know what I'm saying? Like it looked like they just ironed it on and or, you know, put super glue or something like that. And you know, you want good quality if you're gonna spend time or money on anything. All right, so we got a BandLab link. Let me see. HBM Risk. Good to see you again. Good to see you again. All right, this is called Slept On. Rate this in the chat 1 to 10 and y'all feedback.
I got Julie on the beat, this my fucking rolling. I've been
Oh shit, is that?
For so long, I've been slept on, I guess they slept on. Yeah, I'm on them bitches' ass like they got a belt on. Had to slow down, moving fast, that's how you get crept on. Like what you make, it can't be guessed, fuck around and guess wrong. For so long, I've been slept on, I guess they slept wrong. Yeah, I'm on them bitches' ass like they got a belt on. Had to slow down, moving fast, that's how you get crept on. Like what you make, it can't be guessed, fuck around and guess wrong.
If y'all ain't never sending a skin, let me know.
Bless you, be stressed too long. Had to run and learn my lesson, nigga. I just kept on, and going on and doing wrong for so long. I'm talking fuck up after fuck up, I'm just trying to hold on. When I'm talking, get the yelling, I can't change my tone. Check the mail, I got some mail, time to change in my home. Trying to hold on to the tail and hit a bump and you're gone. Being the sickest, what they tell me, I just say they ain't wrong. You a fuck about the fame, I just want my money on. They gon' talk about my name, even when a nigga gone. I get up in my feelings all the time when I'm alone. I guess this is why my favorite movie is Home Alone. I guess this is why I'm smoking all this dope to move along. Mental health, it ain't a joke, it ain't with the same. I just wonder why I've been slept on. I'm not the one that you can step on. I've been slept for so long, I've been slept on. I guess they slept wrong. Yeah, I'm on them bitches' ass like they got a belt on. Had to slow down, moving fast, that's how you get crept on. Like what you make, it can't be guessed, fuck around and guess wrong. For so long, I've been slept on. I guess they slept wrong. Yeah,
what you mean the request?
Ass like they got a belt on. Had to slow down, moving fast, that's how you get crept on. Like what you make, it can't be guessed, fuck around and guess wrong. Fuck around and guess wrong. I'm not the one that you can step on. I'm not the one that you can step on.
Cat sleeping. A lot of vegan people know vegan data. A lot of these people who can't read but freaking people to see stuff. I don't even like know what they do, but I always know that the things that I can think of when I'm thinking about it, and like people don't freaking tell me that they're shrinking around me because I'm getting bigger, and this is this. Who the heck? Why do I even like change my voice like that? Big salute. Okay, so there are certain parts on this record that I wasn't able to understand certain aspects of what you were saying or whatnot. When I said what, you know, and so, you know, with that said, I always remind you guys, right? Make sure that you don't do too much. Sometimes, like, you know, things that you do to the mix or how you say certain things or the amount of vocals that you do add to the record itself, right? I prefer when you let one vocal do its thing and then maybe ins and outs on certain sections, certain, you know, phrases that you might say to accentuate, but even more like harmonization is often better than just your standard, you know, double, right? If you're, you know, us doing the same thing in the same tone, like, you know, like we're seeing the same thing. However, any artist who I have ever seen think about doing harmonization, like they just have a lot more, you know, personality, a lot more energy within, you know, the record. Because again, it shows their range because they do have to get in there and, you know, even though it's a background kind of situation, they know like it, all the tones that you have on certain sections, they'll, you know, literally, you know, add to the fray. The beat is a banger, you know what I'm saying, so to speak. There are elements that can be polished with the mix though, right? If we're trying to make sure that you get to a professional version of this record, right? And again, I want to make a scene, and when I say make scenes, I mean like in my program, right? I have different scenes where like, okay, I can go right to, you know, whatever we would be playing on this end, which might be like a video. I have the, hold on, where's all my different cutaways here? Where's my different cutaways? I have one for the That Dorky, you know what I'm saying, podcast, just if I was just in full talk mode and just wanted to go in there, you know what I'm saying, for a bit. I have one for That Dorky Radio if I'm just playing the artist music that I've made my playlist, vice versa. And of course, when we really love certain records, the nonsense, you know, approves, or even more, the Dorky Don't Play That.
Act like nothing's ever wrong. When these rappers try to make a clever song, no matter what they do, we'll never get along. They think the COVID now will never share a bone. Really trying to fix the music that I would want myself to listen to, cause no matter what I do, I still be this guy that's so invisible. I'm just trying to change the way you make music, cause I know you're miserable. Why don't you do something different and get like me?
What I'm saying is, what was I saying? Oh, I wanted to make a scene that determines, you know, whether it just feels, you know, like a mixtape record or something for the official album, right? Again, official album in stores, went to the studio, made sure you got everything pristine, people taking you serious or whatnot, thinking that you are an artist that's already out there, right? All you ever have to do is play your stuff next to the artists that you guys know and love that are already out there, because that's what you have to compare yourself to. If someone were to just add your record to their playlist on those same platforms, right? If your record sounds very different from everybody else's, that's a little bit of a problem, right? It makes it not feel like it's, you know, authentic or the right version, a lower quality, you know what I'm saying, sort of uploaded version in some cases. They'll always be able to see the potential. Again, I always got to point out, like, you know, Odd Future were very, you know, in their early days, right, didn't necessarily have the best mixes, were independent, you know what I'm saying, just like everybody else. Then eventually you got to hear what they all sounded like, you know, and in the most professional light. And I mean, honestly, like, use that as a recommendation, you know what I'm saying, if you guys have heard, you know, some of the stuff I'm talking about. But You already know what it is. You said, can you send me a PayPal so I can send the funds? What are you trying to do? A one song? Let me know how many you're trying to do. Also, you should be able to directly, let me bring this up, right? If you do the, let me see if I put the link right there, right? If you type in that, right? So like the PayPal .me/dork for hire, right? It should bring up the direct PayPal page where then you can input you know, exactly what you want to add or whatnot. Prices are, of course, as followed on the right: 10 for one song, 15 for two, 25 for 3 songs. For 6 songs back to back, 50, and like full 12 song album, it is 100. But like we focus on you, that album, have full conversations, you know what I'm saying, about each song, the cohesive ness, you know what I'm saying, throughout each song, and you know, pretty much turn the episode into a full album review when that happens. So if we ever do get those, you know, yay, or like what do we do? Let me see. It said it will let me play. It will not send funds out. Okay. Let me see what's up. I'll get you in just a moment. What did you say? He said, I'm going to say you are spitting hot fire. Man, like, listen, man, what we gotta do? What we gotta do? Oh, you said something else. Oh, no, you did. Hold on. Okay. Can I? Let me see. Send invoice. Are you a piece of cheese freshly squeezed? Let me turn this on, and then...
Be sure to send your music and beats over to ThatDorkyReviewShow@gmail.com.
Yo, Dork Squad, this is Rick Sanchez telling you to donate 10 flurbles to Cash App $pay a dork to get your song played fast as shit.
Oh, hey there, you hosers. It's Arsenal the Beat Chef there up there in Canada, eh? When I'm riding on Mooseback, I like to listen to that Dorky Review Show. Dork Squad, eh?
Well, thank you, mister.
Let me write. Does it? Does it allow me? Does it allow me to go all around me? I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do, but you know what? Like every day, man, I'm surrounding. All right, I'm just writing your thing. I don't know if it's gonna do it like this or if I actually have to. I usually do it with another app, but I'm gonna try it with this and see what happens. After that, and then what? Okay. I guess I can add a note. First, skip the line, one song.
For skipping the one song, everybody. Did you hear that? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, man, that little kid needs a show. That little kid needs a show. Okay, and then I could share like this. I can share like this. Alright, copy the link, and I shall be sending to your email in a moment's notice. Oh snaps. Oh snaps. Okay, I'm gonna reply to the email that you sent. I'm gonna reply to the email that you sent and put it essentially in there. Hopefully that works. Let me know if you get it in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Bro, it's 2 in the morning, fell asleep and I'm yawning. Waking up on the lawn, I'm seeing blue and orange. People follow me to school and copy me until I stopped and put my music on. I'm just crawling like a zombie, gnawing on a Nazi, probably in his uniform. Born identity, homie, you've been warned. My brain is soaring like a unicorn.
Alright, in the meantime, we'll jump back in the line. Listen, we jumping back in the line. You know what I offer like when I tell you that I don't know if I'm gonna do it. Alright, so we have Walk Away, produced by Gohan Boy Beats. Alright, enjoy this. Gohan Boy Beats. This is on SoundCloud. so you can enjoy it or more of his records through and through. What is this? What is this? Do I have to...
From the moment you wake up,
From the moment you wake up, go to That Dorky Review Show. Watch every video you can. Immediately comment in the chat and then do everything you can.
Thank you, lady.
Keep on walking, but you won't stay away. I know. Keep on talking, but ain't got shit to say. Oh, Lord. A bitch that's a pain on my side. Bad hoe getting me from Five Guys. But she ain't fine, and now she ain't mine. I got my drink and my weed. It's really all I need. I be ready as spot day and night. Bitch, I stay with life, always high. Keep you out of my mind, out of my life, where you belong. I spoke whenever I remember everything you put me through, my heart. Go to my own, bitch, you know that I will call back ever again. I will never let you in. Whoa, never
I got you.
let you in again. Never let you in now. Never let you in. I got my drink and my weed. It's really all I need. I'll be ready to spot day and night. Bitch, I stay with life, always high. Keep you out of my mind, out of my life, where you belong. I want no more.
But like some people, I like it. It'd be like a half and half.
I want no more. 'Cause I want nobody. No, I don't wanna anymore. Keep on walking, but you won't stay away. I know. Keep on talking, but ain't got shit to say. Oh, Lord. This a bitch, there's a pain on my side. Bad hoe get to me from Five Guys. But she ain't fine, then now she ain't mine.
I feel like that's what I thought you should have done. You know what I'm saying? Like there were certain tones that you kind of decided to just go into certain places that were like off key for whatever reason. And like while it was somewhat unique-esque, it's like unique adjacent. You know, it did kind of feel off at times or whatnot, just because I know where some of the tones should be. An easy fix was something like Melodyne, right? You know, but I do appreciate that, you know, he has variation, goes you know, into higher tones instead of just staying in a monotonic, you know, state or whatnot. Everybody who does stay, you know, a little bit super low, things can tend to feel, you know, a little bit boring at times. It really just depends on you know, whatever you gotta freaking do and stuff. What did Underworld Boss say? Can I pay you to be a kids show actor and stuff like that? What does that even mean, man? You know what I'm saying? Like the kid version that's inside of me and stuff like that. That oh, what are you doing? You're stupid. Like, see, listen, that'd have to be animated. You know what I'm saying? There, if you're saying that I have, you know, the personality that can be good on, you know, certain shows from a Disney or a Nick or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I think there'd be some. Why does it Adult Swim? You know, Adult Swim would be an interesting sort of place to have, you know, sort of like a kid sitcom that is quirky, kind of weird, funny. I feel like that would be a nice sort of overall, you know, place or whatnot. 2 minutes and 20 seconds in terms of this record, by the way. And I like that beat. It has a lot of energy. I feel like there are going to be people who do rock with this, but right? I am in a little bit of a toss-up over whether or not the tones should be corrected, right? Because he's like, I don't feel like is the thing to do. It's or you know what I'm saying? Even like lower, you know, saying that will work, you know, but let's see what's up. We have a skip that's coming up right now from Wallflower.
I know diamonds are the things that you wish that you had, but homie, I'm playing old school games where it's all about grades, you know me. I love gold. I love gold. I got a big stick of gold where my thing used to be just
All right, hold on. We gotta lock it in first, man. Aw, snaps featuring Larry Bellyfate. About time we get to see him in some videos or something like that if it's real. Let me see. Let's drop that in. Now I can give a pre-review, right? Shout out to Larry Bellyfate because you know he's not only come to the show, send his own stuff, but like he made such a name for himself that after a while, other people would come to the show and send his shit, right? You know what I'm saying? To show that love for records that he had been doing. And furthermore, there were artists who had features that happened to have Larry Bellyfate in it, or like ciphers or different things like that, right? So Larry has been getting around, and it's a, you know, a surefire, you know, look at, you know, how we really all need to be as artists to really make sure that we're always staying in people's, you know, minds or whatnot, right? If you do more and more, you know, collabs and, you know, just really try to make the best stuff in every song you do, because again, I haven't heard a bad verse from Larry Bellyfate. So once again, he's always in competition with himself to see if he can be consistent within that. We'll sort of see what this one is. Again, Reflections featuring Larry Bellyfate, and the artist, of course, headlining this song is Marcus Ocampo. So give me a second to actually jot this down in the right way, so I can put Marcus's name right there, and then Jimbo Water here. All right.
Yo, check. Non-change with the face palm. Vince Vaughn's been in space lost with his face gone. Still a race cause and a faint yawn. It's his space balls. Stay chill or remain calm. Take pills every day. Nah, I don't take pills. I just smoke.
Stressing often, I wonder will I live or will I die? But the hands in my opposition, letting the bullets fly. Never meant to be a problem, but many try to be mine. Got me facing misdemeanors and felonies over time. Trying to be better, eager to making a change. Till I wind up becoming a casualty of vain. Feeling cursed, daily concealing emotional pain. Crossing enemy lines, risking my life and mine. Saying, dear God, I get a mask in you, will you please look after my business?
That's more of a lyric video, really.
Trying to deal with this misery, I was giving shit is clear with my tears. Shit I've been burying for years in a city where so many living by illicit acts. Oblivious to the facts, don't be trapped. But I continue moving the roller coaster in this life of mine, no longer wishing to reverse to build the time.
I agree.
My struggle remain, trying to find a way out of pain. Finding this nefarious system locked in a chain. I'm trying to maintain, losing focus, hoping to make it. To see a better day, I'm tired of feeling so hope. My struggle remain, trying to find a way out the pain. Finding this nefarious system locked in a chain. I'm trying to maintain, losing focus, hoping to make it. To see a better day, I'm tired of feeling so hopeless.
I believe in heaven cause I was living in Hades. Hurting situations, jobs, minimum wages. God's gift is amazing, but I was missing it greatly. Trying to give me some paper that blinded visions of greatness. So it took a while to look around and not show them a cricket smile. People always saw me do bad and they wanna put me down. Deep inside I weep and cry. Still I couldn't drown in my sorrows cause I know tomorrow is gonna be good. But now I'm stuck in a sort of conundrum. Am I deserving of all of the constant burdens of being an honest person? And I stood as proud as anybody who was tired of working for people who are are disturbing and evil. I try to swerve and still I wouldn't bow to none of these bitches who get a little power acting like I'm nothing to inches. While I was earning, I don't dwell on it, but I felt lonely than a bitch. I can tell folks are wishing well, so I stand to live.
But struggle remain, trying to find a way out the pain. Confining this nefarious system locked in a chain. I'm trying to maintain, losing focus, hoping to make it. To see a better day, I'm tired of feeling so hope. But struggle remain, trying to find a way out the pain. Confining this nefarious system locked in a chain. I'm trying to maintain, losing focus, hoping to make it. To see a better day, I'm tired of feeling so hopeless.
Know what you're gonna smoke, just know what I'm gonna freaking like find something to cope with. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do, but I'm freaking cool, and you are also found someone to smoke with. I know that there are a lot of freaking people who will come freaking to the show, and then I'm about to tell you, man, you want to whatever. Let me go ahead and clap on there. Stop feeling so hopeless. Okay, so not necessarily a real video per se. It's somewhere in between, man. It's somewhere sort of like in between. You know, more of a lyric video than anything. We'll focus on that, right? Song itself, right? When it first came on, honestly, it didn't feel like something that we would have heard Larry Bellyfait on. You know what I mean? Like there are records where, you know, just like knowing that he is a spitter, you know, and MC, just what he can do. Honestly, he is a universal artist and can hit many different levels and types of tracks. And this is yet another one in that vast, you know, sort of situation. Mello, can you plug in my my thing right there? Exactly in that plug that you see right by your foot? Plug in the adapter that's right there. Be careful. If you came from the bathroom, if your hands are wet, don't. Thank you.
You saved me, and now we gonna press the button and go like this.
Let me stop. I was like, what the fuck is happening? Listen, so and then like look, I think the elephant in the room was you know, the sort of the Pac influence that we were, you know, hearing, man. And he took it to the max, man. That's probably who were the three? There was one artist who I think at one point was signed to, you know, No Limit in the later days, you know what I'm saying, when Master P I think started doing like basketball, and so you started, you know, you had more records from like Magic and you know, man, shout out to that I'm gonna have to go back and do reactions to all that early No Limit stuff, you know what I'm saying, all the way back to Make Him Say and Ghetto Dope, you know what I'm saying, like I gotta go back because there was some classics, you know what I'm saying, there. But there was eventually an artist who joined them that had sounded like Pac. At one point people said that Ja Rule was essentially trying to sound, you know, or be Pac, right? Had the whole bandana, you know, a thing, slightly bald head, and you know, some of the same looks. It felt like, you know, he was trying to, you know, encapsulate that image and somewhat the sound at times. And then I can't think of, I know there was somebody else, right? I mean, shoot, Master P at one point even felt like he was influenced, you know, by Pac, right? There were certain records that he had where you could just tell, you know, sort of how he, you know, flow or wrote or whatnot. And at that time, they were actually big out here in LA or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Yes, being from, you know, New Orleans and essentially going out there, like you'd think like that's where they had to really, you know, buckle things down from. But like, no, they were actually out, you know, in Cali and you know, really pushing a lot of their stuff like weekly. People have to understand today, man, like with the attention span that you think people have, and you got to release song after song and do different things, man. They had you appreciating, you know, albums and camps and things in a different way, because weekly you'd have those releases with every artist from that camp. And then in the albums of each of their shit. Again, when you open it and you start like listening to the CD, you look at the sort of the booklet, and in there you have, you know, like 15 other albums that are coming. So you're already prepared. You already know what you're looking for. Like Master P was smart. He was like, you know, let's do all this, either do all the records ahead of time, right? So we can have a really good, you know, rollout and release. Or, you know, while they was still getting some of them done, you know, might have still pressed up the album covers so that, you know, we still know, like, okay, Silk the Shocker coming next week, C Murder after that. We have Mia X, Fiend, you know, here's a project with, you know, TRU with all three of them. Here's Mystical, here's Skullduggery, Big Ed, Mac, Magic, you know, I didn't necessarily gel as much with the newer No Limit sort of lineup. You know, like pretty much after like Lil Romeo came into the mix like that, I was already sort of like out, you know, that era. Like Mystical wasn't necessarily there at that point. You hadn't really heard too much at that time from, you know, Fiend inside that No Limit camp. And he was doing, I think, records eventually with like 3-6 Mafia and stuff like that. Mia X, we hadn't heard of her, you know what I'm saying, in years after. I don't know where like half of the artists, you know, went. Some of them actually passed as well. So, and then of course C Murder is in jail. So things just kind of fell apart at that time as well. Like as things started to fall apart for No Limit, guess who was coming into the game? Cash Money, right? So that's when Cash Money started doing their things. At some point, you also saw No Limit pivot to certain records they might have saw Cash Money, you know, sort of doing as well. And so you just knew like the dynamic was changing. But also, it was the first instance of other artists trying to mimic other artists' styles. And like, oh, they're doing that, I want to do that too, you know, kind of thing. And I feel like that was kind of the downfall of almost, you know, everything or whatnot. Once you lose your own identity, because you have to remember, again, I'm gonna stop talking, I promise, but you have to remember, right? If you go listen to all No Limit from when they first started to maybe, again, around that time when Cash Money, you know, came out, all of their content was original because they were like, let's talk about soldiers and tanks, you know, things and the Marines, and like, you know, let's make it street hip hop and, you know, kind of theme it to that soldier shit. That's why they had the tank, and that made them original. Once they stopped doing that and they go, you know what, let's do what Cash Money's doing. Let's do what, you know, these other artists doing dance records are doing. Let's sort of like go into that lane. You start to lose yourself. People stop, you know, sort of coming to you for what you are able to do. This is why like original producers are still very important. Timberland needs to continue doing what he had been doing with you know, the sounds that he would come up with. Swiss Beats, same thing. Pharrell, same thing. I feel like Pharrell has never lost it. He still has the same sound that we've known from those Neptune days and is able to get in there. What else? Kanye, I'm still waiting to see Kanye get back in his bag, right? Both on the production and artist side. And I feel like, you know, we haven't saw that inspirational Kanye in so long. So, you know, we'll see, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Dr. Dre. Anyways, you know what I'm saying? It's one thing to show appreciation for another artist, but let them be them and you be you. Yeah, you can send it. Email is up top. Email is up top. Man, you don't need, people don't get it. People don't get it, man. Like how important that was to really let everyone have. And then again, think about all the camps that we may have or may not have talked about. Think about how different every artist in that camp was. Everyone that I named from No Limit sounds completely different. You know what I'm saying? Like all of them have different voice signatures and would rap different. So hearing them all on the same record, like we used to in those all-star records, it felt like an Avengers, you know, level sort of song. You know what I'm saying? Like if you knew all of them and their styles and like, you know, what they brought to the table, then when you heard everybody in one, it was always like a dope, you know, the Avengers, you know, finally crossing over and doing stuff like that. You know, Rockefeller had a good, you know, lineup as well. You had sort of what I feel were solo or group artists that would kind of have other groups under them, like Wu-Tang with Killer Bees and certain artists, and you had Bone Thugs have, you know, different artists that they would, you know, sign and stuff like that. Obviously Eazy-E brought us Bone Thugs, you know what I'm saying, as well. So there's always that trickle down effect. And what I love is that they're not always the same exact artists. Like everybody does have their own thing or whatnot. If you know, but if you don't, today, like I just don't see people winning if you're completely copying another artist. Because if I was a label and you were to basically try to get signed to that label, and I already had an artist who sounded like you, my question would be, why would I sign you when I already have one? You know what I'm saying? And you have to think about it, you know, like that. So how do you add and how do you still maintain your influence to that artist, but throw an extra flavor, you know, in it that makes it very much different? Right? Root beer and Coke, completely different flavors, but they're still brown. They're still brown drinks, right? And you know, obviously, if we've talked about like, you know, Coke and lime Coke and vanilla Coke and stuff like that, that's basically the equivalent of what artists do a little bit today. Is that they'll like slightly, ever so slightly, try to sound like themselves, but everything else is completely that other artist, right? You can hear the Drake influence, you can hear, you know, this and that. And again, be yourselves. Wildflower 100%. When you say Sprite versus 7-Up is Starry and stuff like that, yep. And but like you can still tell that they're two different flavors, right? I think Sprite has like a sweeter kind of taste. A 7-Up, you know, is a little bit more straightforward, but I feel like if you were to put them side by side, I think Sprite loses it goes flat kind of faster, right? I've left, you know, Sprite sort of, you know, out for, you know, maybe give or take an hour or something like that, man. Like, you know, forgetting that I was to get it, and then again it just tastes like, you know, sugared water, you know what I'm saying, after a certain point or whatnot. It loses that sort of that fizz and that edge. That's a nice sort of like taste test to really do with all of the sodas though, to really see like which one stays fizziest the longest, man. All right, we got guava juice.
If you love to travel, capital.
With I love fidget spinners. King Nate, let's go. Everybody know your value. Is that send another skip? Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see.
Out there. Just keep spinning. Let go. I love fidget spinners from my head to my toes. I even love one spinning right here on my nose. Got one on my left, another on my right. I'll be out here spinning from the morning to the night. Hold up for a minute and just watch me as I spin it.
I got you.
If you want a smoothie, then just holla and I'll blend it. Pay some greens, collard beans, butter, lettuce, spinach. Cup about 100 of the fidgets that keep spinning. Custom fidget spinner, so you know that no one's got them. I toss one in the air and just catch it from the bottom. Got these fidget spinners and they spin it all around. If I pick one up, then you know it's going down. Hey! I love fidget spinners from my head to my toes. I even love one spinning right here on my nose. Got one on my left, another on my right. I'll be be out here spinning from the morning to the night.
He said,
I love the way that it spins around like a hula hoop in a helicopter. A Ferris wheel goes round and round, but my fidget spinner does it faster. I'm spinning, making cotton candy here on planet Earth. For real? Both of them still spinning, but the fidget's where it's worth. Hey, turn around. Don't look back. The only thing that should be spinning is this little toy that keeps trending. It's my biggest fan. Electric fan. It's spinning, man. Oh, man. And I hope you know it's not ending. This right here is just beginning. I love fidget spinners from my head to my toes. I even love one spinning right here on my nose. Got one on my left, another on my right.
What happened to my
I'll be
fidgets?
out here spinning from the morning to the night. I love fidget spinners. I love fidget spinners. I just love them spinners. I just love them spinners. I love fidget spinners. I love fidget spinners. I just love them spinners. I just love them spinners.
At the times when I be pregnant trying to cross it. I don't know where my fidget spinner at. I lost it. I need to like make sure how much it costed so I can buy another one, man. You know I'm on. Okay, there's still more here at least. Maybe it's just the beat restarting. I don't know what that was. That was a fun song though, man. That was King Nate. You put too much stuff in here. It's King Nate, Guava Juice. I love fidget spinners. It's a fun song. You know what I'm saying? Seems like something that we would have a video to. To a certain extent, it's kind of corny, but like in a good way, right? Where it's not, you don't not want to hear it when it comes on. You know what I'm saying? If you do have visuals to it, that is your best sort of like bet to, I think, really bring everybody in. Obviously, like with every record that we do, if we make the mixes better, the more professional that we do it, the better that, you know, it will be perceived in all aspects, right? We have to think about radio. We have to think about the aspect that, you know, some people will watch a video of something but may not add it to their Spotify playlist because, again, if the mix is that different to where it feels like, you know, like, again, it's just ever so, you know what I'm saying, different. If you get that more consistent, I feel like, you know, people will pull in. But you can still do a video to it now and, you know, bring something to the customer or whatnot. Obviously, you'd probably have to get, you know, like, it would have to be a video where you either go to a spinner convention or something, or you buy about 100 to 1,000, you know, you have to do something big, you know what I'm saying, with it, right? To really make something go viral and to really have something to talk about with it. Obviously, you could do, you know, green screen and or just like put GIFs or GIFs, however you guys want to pronounce it, of spinners sort of just like in the background on the screen, you know, different things like that. You could do whatever you want, but when you want to have something to talk about, it's stuff like that, right? Like, oh, for the video, I went to this thing, you know what I'm saying? I had everybody bring out their own, their favorite spinner or something, you know what I'm saying? For everyone who likes spinners too. And then, you know, I think especially the kids, you know, would kind of love this song. Kids still love, you know, spinners. If they are still that popular, then this is the video to sort of like bring everyone together. When I was over here like, yo, where's mine at and stuff like that. And again, I gotta buy some more because I actually did lose it, man. I was mad that I wasn't able to just like pull one out for the remainder of the song. And you said the ad-libs are so excited and so like that. Video needs 1K, right? See what I'm saying? 1K spinners and stuff like that. Does everybody agree with that? Does everyone agree with the amount of spinners right there? Is that enough? Right? How much is the amount? Like, how much does he have to have in something, you know, like just filling up a car with it or something like that? Like, what is the craziest thing he could do, you know, that could, you know, be like, damn, this motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, we have to figure something out like that. You said, yo, do it green screen like Doja Cat's Moo. You know what I'm saying? Like, that could, I don't know why I moved it, like, for real. You know what I'm saying? But, like, she.
I know diamonds are the things that you wish that you had, but homie,
I love fidget spinners. We got Oregonomics with another one coming up right now. Listen, Oregonomics with 3 ages coming up in just a moment. Let me go ahead and load this up. If you guys send any skips, let me know as well, and we'll load you guys up right away. This is also the best way to get multiple songs, you know, played throughout the show. Again, just as a reminder, we have a free line and we have a skip line. Theoretically, you could also place a record in the free line that will be wherever it is, and then skip for other records and still have, you know, one that you wait for in the free line. It's all up to you to how you do it. But if you want to dictate where the line goes and be like, you know what, I think I got a record that might match that, or, you know, you just like, you know what, let's change it up, you know, with this and stuff. We're gonna see what's up. I want to see if he can top the record that he sent earlier.
They watch me live, lust and lost. Then they watch me do it all again.
Tell you.
Don't mind, but you think they check in now and then.
It's crazy.
They pay to see me be a human being. Whatever, that's on them. Must like what they see, but you think they check in now and then.
Your daughter okay? How is she?
I'm one in the big, big world.
Okay, that's off key, but
I understand.
there we go. There we go. Bring it
Here
back.
I am yapping away. Don't they wanna be friends?
Hey, certain tones just need a little bit of work in there. Nice. I wanna see. So big salute, man. You know, consistent once again. If you haven't heard Oregonomics, like, they're very consistent in this lane, and the, you know, kind of being able to make new records that sound and feel like old records or whatnot, right? And you always go into one vibe or another, right? A little bit more like Paul McCartney and Beatles, you know what I'm saying, esque, or you know, very much just like many of the artists, you know what I'm saying, back then and earlier, right? The sound, again, will always, you know, get me every time. It's the one time when I'm like, when I don't mind the mix being, you know, sort of rough in a certain way. The only real criticism that I do have is that there are certain sections in the record where, you know, the tone did need to be, you know, corrected. It did sound, you know, like at one point came in off key, and you know, fixing that will nip that, you know, right in the butt. Whether you re-record, right? I'm curious, like, are you a re-recorder, or are you, let me fix this, you know, in post with like Melodyne and effects? Because both are still good. I do prefer if an artist re-records, just because, you know, I always tell you that I love hearing a real artist kind of do their thing, and you know, making sure that everything is as natural as possible. When a lot of artists come through and you have like almost too much auto-tune and stuff on your vocals, like, you know, it becomes refreshing when we finally hear you, you know, in certain occasions where you may be performing live and you have no auto-tune on it, and we're really able to really feel you. Like, for the first time, you start actually feeling an artist. Literally, I just saw a post today with somebody who had, you know, posted basically T-Pain. I think he did like a live version of you know, a lot of his songs, no auto-tune essentially. And, you know, everyone in the comments were saying the same exact thing. They were like, man, like his voice is beautiful, it's actually dope, he can actually sing, like, my god, you know what I'm saying, zero auto-tune, that shit is dope. You know, everyone was embracing just the ability of what the artist could do. And we've been telling a lot of you guys this same thing like forever, man. Like, a lot of you guys don't even need auto-tune. You kind of just add it to be a part of, you know, a specific sound and genre. But if you remove that aspect and just make sure that each tone is where it needs to be, people are going to, you know, resonate with the song a lot more. They're gonna believe what you say a lot more. They won't feel like you're just making a type record at that point, because they'll literally be able to feel every word that you're saying. And in this context or whatnot, right, I've told him, you know, before, especially with the earlier record that he sent, you know, doing music videos in theme with the feeling that we're getting. I could see this one like sync licensed, you know, on some Rick and Morty, you know, if we're talking something today. Any show or movie where there's a dream sequence, right? You know, essentially think about that. It's like you're floating.
I finally made love.
Right? It's the he finally got with what's her name.
Don't mind, but you think they check in now.
They fell in love, had kids, you know what I'm saying? And then like he woke up and it was all a dream, you know what I'm saying? But he lived the whole life in that dream sequence, you know, type shit. You know, man, you make perfect music for those kind of things. He said, we are re-recorders, but we also kind of want off-tone parts on this song and so that. Are you sure? So you're telling me that was 100% done on purpose? Purpose, right? I feel like if you're gonna go that route, right, make your voice crack, you know, make it feel like you know, make it, because it didn't feel like it was on purpose. That's the only reason why I mentioned certain things, right? And I also, you know, I want to remind you guys, when you make a good record and people want to do covers of it, like, you know, they do want to honor the tones, but I don't know many records that like sort of did that, where like they changed, they were off key on something, and then like people want to do that song and then like, you know, take that part, do the same thing. Feel like they'd want to like make it on or whatnot. Just in my mind, you know, it's something I'm always kind of like anal about. Like, hey man, if there's any mistake, if we go off beat, if we're off key and the tone isn't right, for some people they do that thing that a dog does when it sort of starts to feel something's not right, man. You know what I mean? Other than that though, like I think people can still hear you sing, and so if they can hear that, you know, everything else almost, you know, going off key on purpose, it just feels, you know, weird for an artist who really sounds good. It's not something we normally hear. And you know, saying like the Who, I do understand. Let me see. But yeah, I always appreciate you for sending that. And you said that'd be me. Wallflower just sent in. What up, Seiko? Welcome. You said 100. You said artists redoing or engineering, remixing. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like, listen, always be willing to go back in. Always be willing to, like, you know, do remixes with people too. I mean, like, if someone takes the vocals and does different production, you know, on top, or vice versa, you know, adds a verse or something like that to it, which is always even dope. Oh, I am. Welcome back. You know what I'm saying? Said you're. And let's see. I think we're good. Let's go ahead and jump back into the free line. If anybody knows it.
Nonsense and Sir Mike, this song's gonna burn like some hot sauce from hot ones in your eyes. Birdman will talk to an actual bird like I'm gonna chew through this beat like a termite. Don't make me put you where actual worms lie. Don't like my old shit, I'm thinking you were high. Like me when I'm looking down at a bird's eye view. When I'm cool, better act like you surprised. Head to McDonald's, I'm about to steal your fries. Standing out.
Yeah, Wallflower, that actually is pretty good. Like, see, and like stuff like that. Hold up. Let me freaking. Do you mind if I show the tattoo? Because essentially, right? I mean, all I wanted to really point out was like, I love the actual, you know, detail in, you know, what, you know, honestly, any tattoo artist can do. Not only essentially, like, you're drawing on someone, right? You know what I'm saying? It's not scanning a thing into a person's arm and shit like that. That would probably be the future, you know what I'm saying, thanks to AI and stuff like that. But I appreciate the real work of human artists, producers, painters, anyone who can draw and design and really, like, you know, often even from the top of your head really come up with things. It's just dope to be able to do that kind of stuff or whatnot. And even more, like, you know, I don't know if she's able to take requests and stuff. Like, without seeing something, if someone said, I want one of those half Spider-Man, half Hulk face thing, but both of them as a zombie, and for them to be on fire. You know what I mean? Like, that would be some crazy-ish. Hold on, let me show what the hell I do. Oh, I can't make it big. No. I guess I kind of can. And then I can drag this over here. All right, we're going to get back in the line in this moment.
Mommy,
I did theme music and shit.
Bro, it's 2 in the morning, fell asleep and I'm yawning. Waking up on the lawn, I'm seeing blue and orange. People follow me to school and copy me until I stopped and put my music on. I'm just crawling like a zombie, gnawing on a Nazi, probably in his uniform. Born identity, homie, you've been warned. My brain is soaring like a unicorn.
Alright, next up in the free, we got Pablo.
Mr. Pablo, what are you doing, son? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
All right, Lil Rookie. You just sent me the whole. You like choose. You choose. All right, you know what? Bet. Let me. Out of how many songs, I have no idea how much you have, but I'm gonna go with whatever. If I was scrolling through an album, right? We gonna do this old school style, like we was in, you know, Warehouse of Tower Records. You know what I'm saying? We gonna see what's up, right? Okay, so Long Way. You know what I'm saying? Methods, 23, Cold Sunday. Let me see. Underworld, Lost. You have one called Sprite, which, you know what I'm saying, listen, we was talking about Sprite a little bit earlier, you know what I'm saying, slightly. That may be a sign, I don't know. Hellcats and Bentley trucks, man. Slipping, Stray Dogs, She, Stowaway, and Stray Dogs again, Slipping. Okay, so you just like, you were just like reposting these, trying to get more views on some of those. Violence District, we're going back a little bit further than that. Sinner's Anthem. Did you make a actual song essentially themed to the movie Sinners? Shall we check this one out? Let's see.
Gator Light. From the makers of Gator.
No. Or it's probably not that at all, right? It's probably not themed to Sinners, but hold on. I lost it. Thanks for that freaking ad. Thanks for that ad. Let me see. You said love Sprite, so at that. Let's see. Well, should we do the Sprite one then? Shoot. Let's see what's up. What was that one at? 23 code Underworld Lost Sprite.
I poured the Sprite. She fuck with her right. I hop in that bitch and I do. I don't need a right. You cost me a lot. I told you I'm king of this shit. I'm bringing this shit. Like how much you think it's a lot. I know you feeling like this. They want me to quit, but I'm just here right in my spot. Surrounded by thoughts.
I check it out.
So I need to drop it, lock it. Keep that boy right in his socket, yeah. Faucet. That's what's on my wrist. If you suck up, you get dripped. If you fuck up, you get hit. Like so and so, don't need to trip.
Yeah, I got it.
Call her Lucy. Maybe 23 will be the year I get some fucking Gucci, Louis, Prada, fuck Balenciaga. I got problems, not like them though. Bitch, I'm talking Benzo. She took me past the end zone until we break my bed though. Hey, why you acting like all them rappers? Keep your opinion, who told you it mattered? I'm in the city, boy, tell me what's happening. She took a pill, now she going to set. She going to set. I got a freaky bitch, fuck on my ladder. I got a geeky bitch, tell me to ass up. You got a stinky bitch, watch how she dancing. Watch how she dancing. I got a ring, now she pulled down her pants. She fuck with her right. I hop in that bitch and I do. I don't need a right.
Come on, everybody, do this.
Where you at? Why you stop rapping? A lot of time people be telling me that freaking when it comes to the thing that you say, you be knowing that y'all be capping. And I don't even like ever think that I'll be a has-been, but
I'm bringing this shit. Like how much you think it's a lot. I know you feeling like this. They want
why
me to quit, but I'm just
is your energy so low?
So I need to drop it, lock it.
First,
I'm pouring in the socket, yeah. Fuck with the bitches who walking. Fuck all those bitches who talking, yeah.
energy so low. It's a lot of time when I freaking don't know what I'm looking at, so I gotta take a photo.
If you suck up, you get dripped. If you fuck up, you get hit. Like so and so, don't need to trip. I don't need to trip. But I'm on LSD, prefer to call her Lucy Young. Maybe 23 will be the year I get some fucking Gucci, Louis, Prada, fuck Balenciaga. I got problems, not like them though. Bitch, I'm talking Benzo. She took me past the inside.
I don't know, man. Like, even though we went through like most of it, I still feel like there is something missing, and so
I think that I'm the only dork here who's laid in the brain. I gotta ask my freaking doctor what it takes to be strange. I will hit you fucking rappers in the face with a cane while you on a fucking train watching snakes on a plane. I just I don't know what the hell happened.
Where's the gunship? But listen, it's because of the energy, right? Like, you are almost like you're probably the lowest artist that I've heard in terms of, you know, energy on a record, right? You know, we often, you know, use the analogies of you guys trying to sneak in the studio recording the song while the engineer is in the bathroom, you know, type shit. And like, you know, I think it goes even lower than that. I feel like you're right. I mean, it really felt like it was freestyle, but you know, it feels like you're kind of writing or practicing the song under your breath. And again, somebody just happening to be by and like, you know, recording you when you're just like kind of like practicing it in your head, you know, what you may want to say to it. And, you know, so I mean, it feels like a record that like people could get hyped to if you ramp it up, you know, get a little bit more, you know, aggressive in there, kind of ramp up that energy, potentially, you know, see what it do. That's at least what I would do, because I like that beat. That's what really got us, you know what I'm saying, through us. Like, I liked kind of how he was, you know what I'm saying, flowing in certain parts, but like just how he was saying it, I'm always, you know, like, does the actual beat warrant that kind of energy, or is it something that does, you know, or could use something a little bit more hype, which is what I feel. So, you know, legit that energy, like I'm saying, and he said pocket spot on. Let me see. He said Xanax is crazy, man. Listen, man, it is indeed.
I just need you to. Can you please just go? We all need pizza, so I make weird music. I got beats, so if you need them, PayPal me. You see me on the playground, just yeah, I'm a dork, but I stay grounded. They call me in 'cause I stay clowned. You wanna stay down then?
All right, let's go ahead and we got a 2-song back to back. You know what I'm saying? OIAM back in the cusp of whatnot. And like, look, is there a proper way to pronounce your name, right? Because I'm trying to do it OIM. You know what I mean? And or is it are we, you know, meant to you know, kind of by letter, sort of like, you know, pull it out or whatnot. If there's a better way to pronounce your name, I want to be able to do it properly. And so, or is it, yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? OIM. Why not separate it and put like dashes or something like that? Or I think that would sort of have, or if you capitalize each letter, you know, it might help as well. Let me look at it, right? Not each letter, you know what I'm saying? But like, hold on. I guess no, it's because hold on. Yeah, man, because when you put them together, we always have this want to like say it as a word, right? And so we're not looking at it like, oh, it's these 3 things separated. It's a letter. It's 2 letters and 1 word, but really, you know what I'm saying, it is 2 words and 1 letter, you know, which is hilarious. Still works nonetheless. OIM with AA. First up.
I'm a alcoholic, no withdrawals, don't make me draw. They need some towels, this side the toilet shit. My water boiling quick, my water boiled that bitch. This flow before that, yeah. Drink till we all get sick. Let me take my sip, let me erase these trips. Blaming relationships on why I'm wasted still. Replace my friends this year with drugs and drink. I'm just digging myself deeper, I'm impatient shit. Like I can't take this here, get out my face with this. Oh my, we want it forever, but them pages rip. Look, some didn't make this list, and some didn't think this hit. I'm laughing and lit like we were kids in the mall, can't be missed. I die today, forgive me next week, don't be waiting on me. I hit the race ahead, you 6 feet, why you betting on me? These pencil heads come in with lead teeth, will say they taking the lead. I sped through life when I was younger, so don't wonder about. Still smoking weed till I can't breathe and keep a bottle in reach. Slurring my speech and trying to preach, well, I don't fuck with you neither. I've lost too much to have a piece, I need it. I'll let the meet up if I'ma lose, nobody wins. I bought these guns for a reason, no. Why they love to hate on me? And if you hate this much, then you should take a seat. Tell them girls don't wake me up, I'd rather stay asleep. And please don't ask me if I'm drunk or what, I straight a week. I met a bunch of you before until I made it me. I'm not really saying much if it's too late to speak. Never like to fight and fuss, but stay away from me. Another liar in the
Plus, since it was made for me, I'm high today and low next week. Every day is a streak. This broken phone connects the same please. I'm hanging up easy. I'm always right for all the same reasons. Live for the weekend. You only love me when I'm peaking and don't like when it's even. I never call this how they treat me. I blame the fog when they meet me. I told the God they don't believe me. I feel the fall trying to reach me. I take a loss and then get needy till I'm lost and I repeat the vodka, Voss and muddy Fiji on the rocks till I'm sleepy, cause I'm alcoholic, no withdrawals, don't make me draw. They need some towels, this out the toilet shit. My water boiling quick, my water boil that bitch. This flow been for that, yeah. Drink till we all get sick. Let me take my sip, let me erase these trips. Blaming relationships on why we waste this still. Replace your friends this shit with drugs and trade just digging ourselves deeper with impatient shit, yeah.
Gotta like understand it, like not a hack just like no way you get underhanded, cause I don't know what the hell I'm out freaking do, but I'm loving it. I have freaking been able to experience on this planet and let me stop. So yesterday, you know, I said, you know, we've heard, you know, certain records or whatnot. Sometimes it'll be maybe in a little bit of a vibe of you know, some we'd hear from Wayne, but I went as far as to say, like, you know, in the lane that we're hearing it, you know, I think, you know, he made a better record than what we would hear from Wayne in the same exact genre. And we know Wayne would get in. He would make that exact, you know, type of song. But, you know, the way he would sing in certain areas, maybe what he would say, you know, it'd be very different or whatnot, right? But what I appreciate is OIM, you know, how he approaches, you know, most records is, you know, to the max or whatnot, right? You know, exactly as we used to hear, you know, Wayne with everything, right? Which is what got him, you know, a lot of those that would put him in, you know, their top and, you know, feel comfortable with him being there. You know, but you take, you know, these genres, you know, serious. I've heard you in, you know, many, and seeing the versatility, I think, you know, is always impressive. And, you know, when others hear it, you know, hopefully you guys get that vibe of something you'd hear, you know, potentially on the radio, you know, sync licensed in a, like, you know, kind of coming of age or college, you know, kind of film or you know what I'm saying, something like that. You know, mixes, you know, clean, auto-tune, things like that aren't necessarily overdone. It's also 2 minutes and 56 seconds, so it's close to hitting a 3 minute, you know what I'm saying, mark. And I always appreciate that, you know, every single day or whatnot, right? And again, this could be like a little bit of an anthem, you know, if you let it, right? I've said, when any artist comes to the show, if you guys have a piano that is within your production, or if you have a guitar, right, make sure you get out there and try to perform these things live with somebody really playing these instruments, right? Like, that is what will truly impress any audience. It doesn't matter how minimal it is. Whenever there's a real person playing something and then another person either rapping or singing, when you're actually in sync and, you know, on beat and you know, can get in there and really perform and have, you know, that personality, like seeing things live is a privilege, you know, if the artist really goes in and gives people a show. So I always, you know, recommend, you know, if it's the record, if it's the MP3 or CD, you know, people will still be able to enjoy themselves. But it's the equivalent to us sometimes doing, you know, high school talent shows, you know what I'm saying, different things like that, right? Where unless we decide to bring a guitar and a live band to that situation, you know, we're just, you know, doing the minimal. We still would rather hear you on an instrumental than the record, and we still would rather hear you with a live band or real instruments than the instrumental. So it just goes in sort of like that order. But get energy in there. Would you say this energy is cool, but he chasing the beat instead of writing it? You know what I'm saying? Interesting. And then what do you say? You know, he's separating like he does, you know what I'm saying, with upper and lower makes sense to me, but I really got no room to talk. Hold on. Let me jump up back in here, see what else, because we got one more from him. Let's see what the other one is. Racing. And pick which one you love out of the two. Again, if you have the choice out of one of these only, right? At least the order in which like that, you know, things will be worked on. You know, which one comes out first, gets to hit the radio, you know, circuit, live performance, music video. And again, like you'd be hearing it over the next 6 to 8 months consistently. Right? Consistently, no matter where you look, right? Song will be there. If we love a song, we don't hate that. We go, man, yep, we all love this song, man. I gotta see.
It's like for the fake shit, let's do 100 like we're racing. Say fuck them to they faces. Ain't tryna cut down when I'm wasted. Tell me where to be, I'm on the way soon as I leave. I got what you need, just wait for me and take a seat. Used to blame the pills, now they blaming it on me. Tell me what has changed, just it seems it ain't been me. Broke bitches straightening over shit, let it be. They come up looking real, now they for real when they speak. Addicted to the thrill, so I'm dancing at the peak. Fall is not an option when you pop it, let me preach. Friends turn fake and hoes line just to taste. Pull up to the line, all gas with no brakes. We ain't taking no breaks, they ain't doing what it takes. They ain't putting in the work like us, so don't save them. I'm so selfish now, way too late to help me now. Don't care what they tell me now, they would never bail me out. Tell myself don't fail me now, nose diving, dead pilots. I'm the only one around this one-sided, don't mind it. For the fake shit, let's do 100 like we're racing. Say fuck them to they faces. Ain't tryna cut on when I'm wasted. Tell me where to be, I'm on the way soon as I leave. I got what you need, just wait for me and take a seat. Used to blame the drink, now they blaming it on me. Tell me how I've changed, it's just something I don't see. Try forgetting names, but the stains running streets. Teardrops in the range, don't mean shit, that bitch weak. Took them out the frame, now they hoping it all leak. Drowning in the mall, cause today we skipping sleep. She just wanna leap, ain't no saving hoes, I'm saving me. Let me breathe, I'll try to take it slow, but they still love the speed. Broke the cruise control and crashed it, couldn't miss a beat. Disappear like ashes in the breeze, oh it's the burning trees. Hide through all the dips, they just love me lit. God forbid I slip or take a trip and miss a step in this. I'm skimming through the messages, you mentioned it, I meant for this. I mean, honestly at this point it's all feeling effortless. I'm so selfish now, way too late to help me now. Don't care what they tell me now, they would never bail me out. Tell myself don't fail me now, nose diving, dead pilots. I'm the only one around this one-sided, don't mind it. For the fake shit, let's do 100 like we're racing. Say fuck them to they faces. Ain't tryna cut on when I'm wasted. Just tell me where to be, I'm on the way soon as I leave. I got what you need, just wait for me and take a seat. Used to blame the drink, now they blaming it on me. Tell me what has changed, this is something I don't see.
Another vibe, another time. I was a kid and went on another slide when I was all up in the park and shit. I would think it still stay there even when it got dark and shit. A lot of time thinking like people be like, there's no way. Thinking you need to be able to do things because I never can go places to go find my shoestrings.
We go over here and hit them. Man, it's a toss up, bro.
Give me some times, beside the toilet shit.
It's a toss up.
It's a toss-up between these two because both of them have, I think, you know, radio potential, right? Something that, again, could be out there, wouldn't annoy people, you know, with consistency, right? And again, he doesn't sound like an artist who is wasting any of the beats that he is on, regardless of the style that he may jump into, right? We always tell you guys, right? Like, we want you guys to be producers' best friends, right? No matter what genre that you have, if we as producers are putting beats out there, whether it's free or for sale, you know, those are our babies, right? Those are our babies. That's what we want to do. And you know, with that, you know, I always remind you guys, like, some of us are also artists, right? So if we ever pass on a beat that we freaking made, right? Not because it wasn't good enough, but because we want to sacrifice it, right? Hold on. Let me load this right here. Because we want to sacrifice it. You know, it means a lot when whatever artist that does get on them, you know, they actually do, you know, the right, you know, performances, you know, and make it something that feels actually worthy of being out there. Not everybody does it. Some people just literally, let me just go off top, just do anything, right? Freestyle, the punch-in aspect, we talk about that, you know what I'm saying, a lot as well. And, you know, again, people just want to really be able to see the true talent of what any of you guys, you know, can do. And you know, both of these things are freaking catchy or whatnot. It's you know, I think the first one obviously had way more of the live performance, you know what I'm saying, aspect though. And then this second one had more of like the radio, you know, vibe. If we're really gonna sort of, you know, go in between the two, try to like pick which one, you know what I'm saying, we'll go where first. You know, and I appreciate, you know what I'm saying, that. It was also 3 minutes and 15 seconds, man. So I appreciate, you know, that. Once again, there are certain artists who will literally, they look at the time and they go, oh no, I'm going past 1 minute or 2 minutes. And then I'm like, no, like, yes, go past that. Go past as much as you can, because we want to know that you can actually make a full song. It is a skill to really even be able to have a, you know, 3-verse kind of scenario, it just be you, nobody else, and you be able to fill that in and not have people bored by the end of the track. So if you're still into impressing people in many different ways, like there are all kinds of ways to do it. One of that is like really, again, being able to keep our attention, getting there with, you know what I'm saying, different melodies, different energies, variations of, you know, flows sometimes. Even if the beat switches up at certain points, right? It sort of, you know, it really makes the record feel real and like, oh man, the producer was there the whole time, you know what I'm saying? They said, oh, you know what if we add this dubstep section or like whatever, like all of that stuff helps out. And so think about that throughout whatever record you guys, you know, may have, you know, and then just make sure that you guys have structure. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And then what do you say? You just said legit the only time I share my music and stuff like that. Or you said I deal with a lot of depression and anxiety, so I'm you know what I'm saying, faded right now, send it in legit, you know what I'm saying? When you're dealing with depression and anxiety, man, listen, you know, the fact that, like, I love music because anytime we are going through something, like, it is our therapy, right? It is that way to truly get everything off our chest and also make sense of, you know, the different things that you know we may go through. And the other thing is, right, the reason why that's the best kind of record often for you guys to make, what's real, you know what I'm saying, actually, you know, pulling through, is that there will always be someone else going through the same thing, and your song will help them, you know, through that, right? They'll literally feel like you're speaking for them, to them, and it sort of becomes a part of, you know, their Bible, so to speak. So, you know, it always matters that we have real people out here, you know, willing to try to be, you know, more than just the many. Let me jump back in the free line. Underworld, you are next with Moo. I wonder if that's why you were like, let me see. You said the long version. Oh, the long version of the short one that you sent last night. We're finally in not 1 minute mode, so we can actually hear the full one. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I rap.
Make it longer. Run it back and shit.
Oh man, I couldn't do it like on beat and shit. It is kind of loud though, like starting out I might have to turn it down a little bit.
It started it. Lot of times like I don't even know what it started shit. A lot of people taking a bus cause they got no cars and shit. A lot of times you hop on the track but they got no bars and shit. Listen, I always like try to get on a song and like listen, yo, I put no water, I always spit in my bongs, and all the freaking times when I'm thinking about the whole shit, I'm also like drinking while drinking about the oh shit. Wait, what is even happening? It's cool freaking, you don't even know that I'm black, but like also an African, which is only black, so why am I even saying that? People are like, Dorky, shut up, nigga, and play the track. Okay, well, a lot of times when I'm going up, there's a lot of people who send to the freaking show. I know they'll be blowing up, they'll be doing things, they'll be doing dive, or they'll move alive, or they'll move alive. Let me stop. He said, music is a soul cry. A lot of freaking times, you know it, homie, I'm so fly. And every time I play like every game, and I'm gon' die about 5 times. And then you know what, I'm gon' try to be way better than I am when I started at that. A lot of times, man, like back in the day when I started to rap, I didn't really think I'd be dope. But then I freaking like found all the right beats, and then I started to cope. Then he just stopped it. But then he came back cause freaking man ASAP freaking I know I can't snap when it isn't that fake track. Hey, oh, there's a lot of freaking people in the yard now. There's a lot of freaking people acting hard now. Yeah. Sent me a draft last night, man. What you sent me was I'm just kidding. Said it's good enough to be a short version, so I kept it. Not bad. Said I recently got new headphones, you know what I'm saying? So levels are going to be a bit off. You gotta fix it. There's a lot of people who are way too freaking simple, and half of them not as cryptic. And if it ain't really dope and like shit, they not gonna listen. I don't know what the hell I'ma do with this, but I'll rip it if you ask me. People are asking the fact that like, can you with me thinking I would have liked the last beat. If you also know that you finna go get your ass beat, you don't even really know like what the hell is asking. So
So my criticisms are more with the timing on just like where certain things come in, right? You know what I'm saying? From the intro to you know, like there's like just two parts in here, like where it sort of stops for a second and you know, like starts the beat, you know what I'm saying, from that point, right? And I'm just me personally, I'm usually more sort of like straightforward when it comes to going from, you know, verses to choruses to, you know, different things like that. And when it comes to like the second verse, I do know like what I know that records can still be done where again you sort of like, you know, you still as an artist go, okay, the beat's gonna come in right here, so let me make sure that I you know, just, you know, get where that's at. But you know, it may be something hard to figure out like live, right? Because if we're just like rapping to the instrumental, in our head we're still like we didn't there's no way to tell like how long that's gonna take before that portion, you know, comes in or whatnot, right? And so you almost have to have a chorus where you start after the thing, right? So hold on. I beat a did a donor for the beat of me. I went and go the crazy soul because she beat me. And then it's on the corner to the lead of me. And remember they come with a good but on the bone, the T the D on the bone. You know what I'm saying? You have to have something that comes in after. Otherwise, trying to figure out what you need to drop right on will be a little bit hard. Again, that's more of an artist problem than, you know, a producer, and it can always be still rectified, you know, nonetheless. Still good to be able to hear, and thank you for actually sending a full version. So yesterday, he had sent a shorter version of the beat. I mean, like, it didn't really matter at the time because we were in 1 minute mode by that moment anyways, but you know, I always want you guys as producers to provide the artist with at least somewhere around that, you know, that 3 minute mark, because, you know, you want us to at least have the opportunity to have different ideas, potentially the opportunity for one or more feature, right? We never know what records we're gonna make into like whole ciphers and, you know, stuff like that. So the more beat provided, you know, you at least give us those options. And like, again, if we want to make that 1 to 2 minute record, like all we have to do is just stop where we are, fade it out, you know, where that portion is, and, you know, call it a day. But if you have more, and especially, so how do you get people to go further? Right? Because there will still be those people who are like very like, nah, let me just make a short record. The way that you have people go further is by, you know, changing the beat ever so slightly in different ways as your beat progresses, right? So if you have 3 verses, right? What can you do between those? And obviously the chorus has its own, you know, sort of a thing, but there's always more that you can add in to, you know, again, show that growth, you know, throughout. Think about different you know, sounds that you can add, different melodies with different, you know, kind of synths and things like that. You know, just try different things out and see what it would do. Let's go ahead and jump back into the free line. Once again, we got Nick Lowe right in the cuss. Shout out to everybody freaking tapped in right about now.
Please send your records to ThatDorkyReviewShow@gmail.com or get ready to die. Ha 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 ha.
Nonsense and Sir Mike, this song's gonna burn like some hot sauce from hot ones in your eyes. Birdman will talk to an actual bird like I'm gonna chew through this beat like a termite. Don't make me put you where actual worms lie. Don't like my old shit, I'm thinking you were high. Like me when I'm looking down at a bird's eye view. When I'm cool, better act like you surprised. Head to McDonald's, I'm about to steal your fries.
I also want to remind producers not to get too caught up in like full splice sequences and stuff, right? Like if basically we just drag and drop
an already made melody and drums, and you know what I'm saying, and we add nothing. All we do is just basically like puzzle piece everything together. You know, always make sure that you guys add your flavor within those, because you know what's funny is there will be many artists or many producers who essentially kind of just, again, they drag and drop and they don't, you know, add something extra. Then you hear certain things, you hear either, again, the melody and sound that's used one-to-one, or you hear the sort of like sequence and becomes something familiar. You don't have as much of the element of, you know, surprise, and you know, often, you know, you want to be the first one to sort of have any kind of, you know, sound or way that, you know, any kind of beat is structured. And like people will always be like, man, all right, this one is called Call on Jesus.
Anything you want, anything you need, all you gotta do is just call on Jesus. In this situation, you can make it through the day. Call on Jesus. All your worries, there will be over. Call on Jesus.
What up, Rage?
Call on God, yeah. I know He's gonna bring me out. Anything I'm going through, I know He's gonna hear me out. Cause His word say it's true. He's the only one that knows my struggle. He's the only one that come running. He's the only one gonna be for me. Forever. Call on Jesus. Times get hard. I can't call on Jesus. In those situations, it's hard for God.
How am I able to mimic?
I'ma take to my grave. I pray God save me. Get me in them gates. Ain't need my plan. I'm gonna make it. Y'all can't see the times we living in. The ones close to you is leaving. Television misleading. Sit right here in their face. Got this question I face. What happened to them leaders that's gonna lead the way? Keep our people safe in these wicked days. You gotta have faith, and I know His name, so I call on Jesus. Those times get hard, you can call God. Can't nobody do it like Jesus. I'm begging right now on my knees. Always right there, He will never leave. So I call Him Jesus. The problems come, Jesus. The trouble come, Jesus. The thunderstorm, Jesus. Call on God.
I see you, I forgot.
You can make it through the day. Call on Jesus. All your worries, there will be over. Call on Jesus. Call on God. Call on God. Yeah.
Pick up the phone, like, listen, you can like hit him freaking up when alone and you ain't feeling like nobody even loves you. Like, he'll always be there. Like, man, he'll always above you a lot of freaking time. Like, when people puts and shoves you, you just gotta make sure you don't feel like in the bubble. Then, hey, don't even try to come in, lady. All right, let me go ahead and hit this button. There was one time, again, we talk about tones on the show, and it was like one time where the tone was, you know, a little bit off within there, you know, fix that, and, you know, you're mostly good or whatnot, right? I like that Life Jennings-esque sort of, you know, style that you just have, you know, within. And like, just to remind people, right, because we had this conversation before, and often what he says is it's not gospel, but it's inspirational music or whatnot, right? I mean, be immediately mistaken, because, you know, when you directly you know, speak of Jesus, you know, you immediately sort of think about, you know, gospel, you know, rap, gospel, you know, songs and stuff. But what I listen to though is that the different production that he does
rap or sing to is very much, you know, different than what you would normally hear in your standard gospel records, right? I feel like, you know, I've often been able to say the reason why his is gospel adjacent is because they often still feel like records you could listen to right next to other things, as opposed to, you know, something that you can only plop on, you know, on Sunday. For those that do, you know what I'm saying, you frequent church or whatnot, you know, it's often, you know, tradition. Let me get in there, play some Kirk Franklin, some Yolanda Adams, and this and that. And there are certain things that, you know, you vibe to, you know what I'm saying, on that, or, you know, you sort of make it a consistency, you know what I'm saying, throughout, you know, your vast, you know, catalog. But this, I feel like, again, it can fit within the confines of, you know, someone goes from a trap record to this, they still feel like they're, you know, right on home. You know, you have certain effects on your vocals from time to time that, you know, I do just feel like, you know, the vocals really just need to be polished, you know what I'm saying, where they lay in most cases. But do make sure that you can hit the right tones, because you know, when you go and perform anything live, you know, you don't want to make those mistakes when you are live indeed. You know what I'm saying, am I ever gonna do a studio tour one day? But I can't pick up the camera itself and move it, like it'll sort of like mess a lot of things up and like what it's plugged into. But what I can do is one day I will just like film a little video of it, and then you know, kind of play it as a video on the show. Like that's probably the best way to go in there and do that. Wildflower said, picture a choir in robes behind them. Yeah, yes sir. And then he said there are different subgenres of gospel. Indeed. And like we've been hearing it more lately, right? You know, we've literally been hearing it more lately where you know, like they still essentially get the job done. Cause like, look, man, let's be real, right? When it comes to any gospel song, right? What does any good gospel song do? It talks about your trials, your tribulations, and if your outcome is I came to Jesus, or you know, he helped me through that rough time, and like it's the part of the chorus, right? Not just a line, a throwaway line in a portion of your verse, then I do feel like it does fit, you know, at least in a gospel, you know, sort of subgenre or whatnot, right? Because you're going in directly, you're basically, you know, when someone hears it, they'll feel, you know, if again, they'll feel that same, like, yeah, man, he helped me, you know what I'm saying, when I was going through this, and you know, they'll be able to relate in that way. Let me go into the next skip that we do have.
I just need you to, can you please just go? Y'all need pizza, so I make real music. I got pizza if you need them, PayPal me. You see me on the playground, just, yeah, I'm a dork, but I stay grounded. They call me in cause I stay clowning. You wanna stay down then?
Alright, you have a SoundCloud for one, and then the other one is an MP3. Do you care which one is first? Or do you care which one is first?
At LinkedIn.
Okay. So I am with Paka #1.
Yeah.
What was that? Thank you for the super chat, Liquid. I see you.
I woke up this morning like, what am I doing? I've been on this since my bitch is the coolest. See, I only like him and they get the fullest. Bae got a problem, we snap or remove it. If that doesn't solve it, I guess we just shoot it. Don't like the edit, just give me the newest. Feel like the one, I don't know what the two is. Might go where they from, I start acting unruly. If I'm in the cut, then someone got a totally. All of these guns like something from a movie. My shotters get fully, la hoe think I'm moody. I just been coolin', I'm opening doors that can't even get a foot, and I'm bringing the food in. Don't need no blueprint, I knew when I pulled it. And the neighbors be moving, bitch, watch how I do this. I'm telling you, tune in.
feel like the trap when it's booming. I've been on fire and I'm fuming. I feel the hate it's been looming. Every day that's a new one. Make way, let me move them. I drink, call what you want. Running plays, know they proud of the movement. If I'm on the way, it's been too long. Told that whole weight, then I moved on. Dirty money in a futon. Ex-hoes using coupons. Ice tray through the ooh-on. I'm the one your baby boo on. So I be believing, just root on here. Take your copy, this a new one. Hoes on original, baby. I know I've been killing it lately. Ex still thinking they date me. She ride it like she's getting crazy. Shout out my Reddy and Katie. If I'm out in Houston, it's never a maybe, no. Win. Turned up on 10. Tell me why I'm dancing. I don't go crazy for hoes. I cannot be little bro. We can't go breaking the code. They ain't never been on the road. When I get a Benz on my boats. Fuck with a friend I don't know. Cop the new 40 in scope. Ooh, I love red dots. I mean red dots. Either way, it's a headshot. I got a thing when legs lock. Kicks all dead stock. You shorty a bed knock. 5 shots and I hit it still. I mean, I killed a kill. Got her on IG twerking from real to real. She will. I'm Bill Trill. You Bill ill. Fuck. Why do I do this to people? I don't like working on redos. I make them feel like I need to. So shorty buy friends from the EU. They can't wait to meet you. I left her on red. She pull up in a see-through. A dress to say evil. She pull like a needle. Act like I need you. Everyone knows this ain't equal. I'm all on the top of their heads with a preview. Ooh, I been hurting a man. Got more than a word in my hands. Girls understand. Got it for me and the fam. I ain't a plan. How they do not know who I am.
Who produced the beat?
Weed in the sand. Baby say pull for the ground. Holding the cam. Let me just count when I dance. Been feeling myself with the hands. Do this for the fans.
At the end of the song and shit, a lot of time freaking is a lot of artists that are sent to the show that I really get along with. But freaking y'all freaking to tell me the longest shit that you a freaking make. You don't even know you leaving no freaking whole freaking thing. You know what, man? The green is so freaking cool. And you know what? I'm a machine, but bro, freaking I can go and clean the whole freaking track and no freaking don't even know what the hell I'ma do. Freaking there's no way I'm freaking whack. I know I can that look. You pieces of shit. Damn it.
All right, let me go over here and hit this right here, of course. And we're gonna go.
Yo, I hit the block like a running back. Japanese denims talking now, 40 under that. These rappers kill me with they mumble raps. They painted nails, I 4 fingers smack a faggot, make them stumble back. I spit bars to make you hustle crack. And throw something on the doozy pack. The
Ada Fiend's coming back.
It's big bad, I really live my rap. I do my crime, bit my time, still fit one of your fitted cats. Reach your hand, I wouldn't get
Man. You know, we're consistently able to have that conversation about a lot of things when he sends to the show, man. You know what I'm saying? One of those conversations are, you know, like really reminding artists what it really feels and sounds like when you don't punch in every bar, right? We want to acknowledge the full run through of what an artist can do when they really feel the beat, have a structure to what they're gonna do, and like again, like he never let up 1 second in the track in terms of, you know, like there was never just like a dull point feeling like he was just, you know, paint by numbers sort of section. Like it felt like he felt it the entire time, and you know, never wasted any second of, you know, the beat. And again, as a producer, it's always an honor, you know, when you guys just kind of like know the job and you take it serious, right? Because again, if I were to have made that freaking beat, right, like there's no way I'm either hopping on it myself, you know, so I can make sure I'm sliding it, or again, like I'm really figuring out, like, you know, I'm always weary about who to give that beat to, just because like if they don't do the good job, right, you know, you feel like you've showed your hand, you know, oh man, I wasted it on you know what I'm saying, them, so to speak, you know what I'm saying, no offense, you know what I'm saying. But when you do a good job, again, the record has a easier time getting out there. You also become the first line of defense with that beat, right? The people are hearing you first and that beat. They have to follow whatever you did. They have to be better than you, or at least up to the same par. Otherwise, right, like they'll always be compared, you know, to that. And so when you hear a good artist first, as opposed to just someone with no energy, you know, maybe same flow whole way, not really, you know, feeling like they're even awake for the recording of the record and stuff. Like, I always like feel like you're wasting, you know, a lot of people's, you know, time. Sit down, figure out the best things that you could say. Think about everything line for line, right? In the same way where, like, you know, we get in there and we try to analyze as much as we can. You know, Wayne and certain artists, they're just really good at figuring out where those certain lines, you know, should go. Rare when we can hear it from you guys, man. And you know, I think a lot of you guys do it in different ways. But like, you know, at a point, the last thing I would say is, like, at a point, okay? At a point, every artist reaches that time where everything you do is dope, right? But it's because you know what beats to rap on. You know which ones pull the best version of you out of you, and you don't just do anything, right? Because there's that phase where we're just like, let me up on this beat and this beat. Oh, they did this, let me do this too, right? And you sort of like don't know where you're supposed to go yet. You're just kind of like, you know, grasping at straws, you know, a little bit. But when you finally reach that point of knowing exactly how to take care of each piece of production, when you should do something more melodic versus, like, you know, straight up rapping and vice versa, and you can have that confidence on there, like, you make that turn where you're able to be compared to the bigger artists in the best ways, right? Like, if you're gonna be Drake inspired, and, you know, for certain artists, you know, you have to be better than, or at least of that caliber, for people to even want to remotely, like, replace him with you and be like, you know what I'm saying? Or even just go to the same, you know, conscience to be like, we fuck with them both. He said, wasting beats breaks my heart, you know what I'm saying? Definitely not letting it go, you know what I'm saying? Easy. And whoever you worked with on that one, definitely someone to keep around, man. I'm saying, man, you know what I'm saying? Got in there and hit that nicely. We have the other one, which is an MP3. Let me see. Did I download it?
Mommy, did you download it? Hey, yo, shit, yo.
Alright. This one's called Okaino.
Different. It's like, yeah. Where were you when I needed you? I always felt defeated or misleaded when I'd read it through. Drowning in regrets with some liquor in a swimming pool. Family tried to help me, but my selfish ways were split in two. I never thought I'd make it out this pit I stuck myself in. Friends gave me distance with the pot that I would melt in. Problem child, but I won't blame my past or what I did do. This certain things you get through overdosing into. I'm thankful for the chances that I've had and tried to pass on them. Opposite my last song, the joy don't ever last long, but you brighten up my day when it's the cloudiest shoe. Bring me in when I'm so out of this shoe. Made me feel a way I've avoided. Now I wake up every morning to your smile and can't ignore it. Got me switching up my style just for you, and I enjoy it. Since you came into my life, I focused more on living longer. I don't wanna die before I know you'll be alright. I teach everything you like and you don't need to ask me twice. I'll be there when you read and write it. Help between the lines, I'll be your candlelight. Since you've been my sight, for you is amplified. This man that I am is because of you. This love I have for you is true. So anything that you go through, I'll be there to make sure we move no matter what. Your laughter picks me up and plus your attitude. I do what I have to do and more, you know your dad a fool, I promise. Life with you is timeless. Ask away, I'm always honest. Watch the worlds around us. People lost in the comics and lack the natural kindness. You give me hope there's more to come through all the plus and minus. There's all this in my head, and I've been since we met. You gave me my breath. Please don't you forget.
So, with this one, I almost had an idea, right? Which I don't know if anybody's really done per se, but what if you were to release a double album, right? Where you have two versions of the same record, right? And one is more of the unplugged live. You don't have the auto tune sort of like on there or whatnot, so people can like, you know, really get that refreshing version. And then you have the more digitized, you know, same version. Again, any auto tune or certain effects that would be on there, and sort of, you know, give people the sort of best of both worlds. Like most artists, if you really want to, if you truly want to test, like, you know, what versions of your records really do best, like something like that would be, you know, I think amazing to see artists really do the work to try to make that happen or whatnot, right? And again, it could be something different in production. Like it's not as new in terms of, like, we've had artists release a single and then they've had like a few different producers sort of remix that same single with, like, you know, different beats. And, you know, like those I think would come out a little bit more in the past, and those were physical copies of you know, stuff. You'd find those in the record shops, like, you know, as like little bonus, you know, sort of versions of the artists you were looking for. And I feel like, you know, the past gave us a lot of gems like that we can sort of, you know, check out and take, you know, honor in. Like literally, people will buy the live at wherever you're performing performance version of a recording, right? So if you can go, like, again, make plans to go perform some of these records at, you know, venues, have a professional, you know, kind of recording. You know, there's always like two different versions: the one that like whatever people are hearing out in the audience kind of version, and then the one-to-one, you know, hearing what's going in the mic, and with the music, you know, playing in tandem, you know, with that or whatnot. So you have, you know, the decent mix of whatever the live mix is, and or the sort of, you know, in audience, you know, sound. Whichever one feels better, go and listen to some live at the whatever albums from, you know, some of the bigger, you know, bands and potential artists, and, you know, just literally get a vibe of how, you know, those feel and sound. And again, no, like the fans, they love to see, you know, artists do like a lot of the work. Lately, we haven't been seeing a lot of that, right? We've seen a lot of like half-assing in so many areas. And so you don't see people really getting as excited to go, you know, see certain people who aren't gonna do that, you know, sort of showmanship, you know, within there. You know, you had good melodies within this song, you know. Again, anything that you guys can do that's acoustic makes it really easy for you to pick up a guitar and just, you know, go ham, sing your song, you know, when people go, hey, you make music? Yeah, man, look at this. You know what I mean? And just like hop in there. What up, HDX? Welcome back, my good sir. And then what you say? Definitely need a proper sound, my guy, for live recording, man. Like I want to see that. I want to see what he's able to really do within there. And let me see. Really doesn't need it. Let me see what you were saying up there. So I like to hear. I see you were where I was at right there. He said, I like to hear this without auto-tune. You know what I'm saying? This would be real nice, man. I'm saying. And he said, let me take a look later and I'll see if I have someone I think you'd work well with. That's what's up. Private press also. Fire emojis within there. And again, that was also OIM, you know what I mean? Like we had we in here.
It's turn fake and hoes line just to taste. Pull up to the line, all gas with no brakes. We ain't taking no breaks. They ain't doing
Right. We had that, and we had
when it's the cloudiest shoe. Bring me in when I'm so out of this shoes. Made me feel the way I've avoided. Now I wake up every morning to your smile and can't ignore it. Got me switching up my style just for you.
Right, which was the same as.
No gas with no brakes. We ain't taking
Wait, that
no.
was the same. That was the same one. Hold on, I was trying to pull the other one. This one as well, right?
Made me draw. They need some towels. This side the toilet shit. My water boiling quick. My water boiled that bitch. This flow before that, yeah. Drink till we all get sick. Let me take my sip. Let me erase it.
And last one, hold up. I was trying to find the rap one. That all of a sudden. That all of a sudden. That all. What is all that? Wait, I can't just drag and drop? Oh, wait. Nope, that did not work. Hold on, let me open the
opening folder.
I'm opening the folder.
When did if I got mad and wish they dropped dead and left when they caught this crime. Guessing it's a problem. I'm not the reason they popped him. All them feelings went to his head and it ain't helped that he was flossing. I knew ops that killed him soon.
Like yesterday he came with that one, you know what I'm saying, shut the show down. Like he's a versatile, you know, artist and stuff. So we appreciate your work. Thank you. We have a skip from BR Games right now. We're gonna go ahead and plop that in, and then we should be back in the free line if we don't get another skip.
I know diamonds are the things that you wish that you had, but homie, I'm playing old school games where it's all up for grabs. You know me. I love gold. I love gold. I got a big stick of gold where my thing used to be just because.
All right, so Krista J with Uncapped Promise. Music video, hold up.
You take my breath.
Hold on, let me.
I just blah, 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 blah.
Did you say it was double down?
I did, and that's not what she says, but
Face palm. Yo, check nonsense with the face palm. Vince Vaughn's been in space lost with his face gone. Still a race cause and a faint yawn. It's a space ball. Stay chill or remain calm. Take pills every day. Nah, I don't take pills. I just smoke.
You take my breath.
how could I forget? I think you only said this one like once or twice.
Yo, you know I love you, right? I ain't gonna be able to make it tonight, bro.
Are you serious? Again? I can't. Bye.
But I know that you're never gonna change. Gotta fall back cause I know that you're stuck in your ways. So used to the bullshit, used to the games. Different life, the lights can't escape this maze. Times that it's taking, but I know that you're never gonna change. Gotta fall back cause I know that you're stuck in your ways. To my mama, not going for the drama. Each and every time I regret it. You love me so damn it. Now you see they don't wear it. Look at your cry, I can feel the position. Hands are
or even get dressed, we can make love. Ooh, love. I wanna be your everything, knight in shining armor, count on me for anything. Tell me what your fantasy is, I'ma make it all of my business. Baby, tell me all of your fears, I'ma put them on my hit list. You'll never be scared again, not as long as you with me, I promise this. I'ma be your Superman, I'm a flyer, I can take you higher than you ever been. I just wanna empty all of me and you, give you everything, baby, the stars, the moon. I be so honest, I never lie, I'm true. It might be a little early, but damn, I do. I'll climb every mountain and every seashore, I'll go to hell and back if you need more. I just wanna be all yours, so knock at my door.
Come on. Classic 90s R&B feel. Cover always works with some of the best R&B singers. And they got a music video. Again, Krista J, Unkept Promise, featuring Robert Curry. And like, man, I am a fan of, you know, like good R&B, you know, something that, you know, really allows any artist to truly test their vocals, you know what I'm saying, out there, right? When you guys get out there and freaking sing, your job is to really make us feel some type of emotion in a way, right? Where like, you know, you just subconsciously start thinking about, you know, that person that you either love, have a crush on, you know what I'm saying, a cute girl across the way, whatever the case, right? You should hear these kind of songs and then, like, you know, want to, you know, play it when you just kicking it with them, you know what I'm saying? When you're trying to make a little bit of a mixtape of just like records that you know, allow you to you know, just vibe, Netflix and chill, whatever you guys, you know what I'm saying, want to sort of look at it as. I always appreciate a good duet too, man, because, you know, sometimes we just get like one side of any given story, right? There's a world where he makes this song solo or she makes this song solo, right? But being able to hear both of them, you know, and, you know, any of the songs that you guys have, by the way, I do recommend you try to, you know, kind of make the same thing, you know, happen, even at least for a remix, right? Some of Mr. Fresh's, I've talked about, you know, him getting features on a lot of his records, and, you know, a female artist would definitely, you know, do something dope to bring a little bit more, you know, life within it. And that goes for literally anything, right? So male, female artists, whatever you guys do, you know, make your record however you wish. But if there's ever chances for a remix where you can get, you know, two together, I think that would be dope. Both of them have like a lot of control over their vocals, man. I love the harmonization. You know, it's something that you know, we absolutely, you know, just love, you know what I'm saying, within there. Nothing freaking too crazy, man, you know, standard reverb, you know what I'm saying, my elements, you know what I'm saying, within. But yeah, nothing too crazy. No like chorus, no chorus, and if there is, I only added a little bit. what did you say within there? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. I don't kill people until after. No, but yeah, big salute, and I'm glad you guys went and did this video as well. You can tell them like any stories in terms of, you know, the visuals. The I think the what was I gonna say? Oh, the criticism that I mainly had, I think, was sort of wanting to get like the audio right in the very beginning, right? Sort of like the talking parts when you are, you know, simply on the phone, you know, going back and forth and you know, stuff like that. You always want to make sure that, you know, we can hear everything, you know, up front, that it's a good sort of contrast when the scene is being, you know, cut back and forth, right? Think the difference between, you know, just like a movie that would be in theaters or something like that, right? You know what I'm saying? If you have background music, right, which is playing from the radio, but I'm almost like wondering if it should have been playing just like, you know, saying kind of like just like in the background as opposed to like from in, you know, the car. But also I get it, and I love those situations too when artists are able to sort of, you know, get the all right, let me jump from a scene where like you're hearing music and then it cuts to a person in class with headphones on and they were listening to the song we were just hearing, and then somebody takes their headphones off and then they like just start talking to them, right? Like things like that are really dope. I forgot what it's called, you know what I'm saying? I did take, you know, film school, and that was one of the things that I learned about that. And like ADR, which is like when you go and do voiceovers, like essentially the scene that they, you know, talked when he's in the car, he could have went to the studio and like re-recorded, you know, any of his audio parts if something was, you know, too low. I see a lot of artists that do forget about that aspect. Yes, you do got to go and kind of re-talk how your, you know, tone and cadence, you know, might have landed up, but it's cool. Appreciate the likes on this end, by the way, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate you. And what you say? So you said the song, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, the song in the car is like a little promotion, right? You know what I'm saying? So people go, oh, what's that one? What's that one, man? He said transitions like they set off, you know what I'm saying, with sound and visuals. Now, what do you say? Rob is from, you know what I'm saying, the Diddy group, you know, day 26 or whatnot. Did you ever ask him about the Diddy that, like, I completely forgot all about freaking that or whatnot. Did you ever ask him, you know, just how he felt about what was going on with the trial and stuff like that? Let me see what else we're on. We're gonna go back into Freeline in just a moment. Oh no, we have a skip from ACX, right? What did you send? Gotta freaking skip it. Freaking shit, man. I don't even really think that I'm tripping. See the shit and I don't even think. All right, let me look at this actual thing. Okay, so yours might be a 2-song bike to bike or a skipping clip. Which one? Let me look and gander. Okay, back to back. All right, no doubt. And he said, yes, we had deep conversations about it and stuff like that. Was he on a good end, or, I mean, you don't have to say, obviously, you know what I'm saying? Things are over, you know what I'm saying? But I can only imagine, like, you know, anyone who was around, you know, really Diddy at any point, right? You have input, right? On just like his character and you know, how he might have just treated people or whatnot. Because half the trial was like, was trying to do like one thing or another, right? You were trying to see, you know, the whole thing with like Cassie and sort of, you know what I'm saying, how she was treated. There was also the whole, you know, kind of sex life and stuff like that. And the, you know, I think we really didn't even get into the conversations of the actual parties and, you know, any of the accusations that they had there. I guess they were trying to go after, you know, what they thought they would be able to you know, kind of freaking win. But nonetheless, man, I think, you know, it's just an interesting time to live, where like legacies are just kind of getting torn apart left and right. We losing people. We, you know, be safe out there. Be safe.
I just need you to. Can you please just go? We all need pizza, so I make weird music. I got pizza if you need them. PayPal me. You see me on the playground, just yeah, I'm a dork, but I stay grounded. They call me in 'cause I stay clowned. You wanna stay down then?
You said I deleted. I deleted my thing from. Damn, so you could have potentially been hit up, you know what I'm saying, too, or whatnot, man. That is freaking crazy. That is freaking crazy. All right, let me hurry up, man. I forgot. We on the time screen right now. On the freaking time screen. All right, let me go and jump over here real quick. We got a 2-song back-to-back. HTX Youngster, give your thoughts on this. This first one is called Down Bad. They're both SoundCloud links. So if you have SoundCloud, as long as he doesn't private them, you should be able to find them if you like them.
Yeah. John Donnie made the beat and I'm gon' kill it.
Two-Face quote.
Yeah, I remember times I was so down and so lost. Yeah, I had nobody. Wanna go so big that I'm well known from the world and everybody. Yeah, I remember times I was so low and down bad, and I had no money for a 10 sack. Now that I'm up, bitch, I'm buying shit that's worth more than 10 racks. New bust on AP, bitch, cost about 10 stacks. Bitch, I came from a place that I can never go back. I'ma make this my world and I can never hold back. Yo, all my diamonds flashing like they Kodak. Yo, take me out of dark place and put me in a new bag. Fuck all those days when I had no money for a food bag. Put my pain on my shirt and call it on my new swag. Yeah, swag. I had a broken heart, but God made my pain held back. Fuck all those people that made me feel bad. Ways I could just flex on them and tell them fuck you and just kill that. Yeah. I remember times I was so down and so lost, I had nobody. Wanna go so big that I'm well known from the world and everybody. Yeah, I remember times I was so low and down bad, and I had no money for a 10 sack. Now that I'm up, bitch, I'm buying shit that's worth more than 10 racks. No bus on AP, bitch, cost about 10 stacks. Yeah, I'ma rap and sing about my pain. When thunder strikes, it comes like rain. Got that fire coursing and running all throughout my veins. Praying on my downfall, but I'm delaying my fate. Always trusting God that He keeping me safe. Yeah, I can never stop grinding till I cop the brand new Wraith. Whoa, never turn my back on God, yes, I'ma always keep my faith. Running to the bag and I'm always keep my pace. Used to be my city that I call my place. Yeah, I remember times I was so down and so lost, I had nobody. Wanna go so big that I'm well known from the world and everybody. Yeah, I remember times I was so low and down bad, and I had no money for a 10 sack. Now that I'm up, bitch, I'm buying shit that's worth more than 10 racks. No bust on AP, bitch, cost about 10 stacks.
When you go, and that guy when they get up on the track first, then I flow, then I call Biggie to a place. You don't even know if I'm freaking sitting on the ground or if I'm out of space. There's another time where I slap your face and then I go down, but they get the both down. Everybody knows I hope on, but the both down. Go. All right, man, let me go ahead and hit this button, which claps for a second. All right, so for
for about like 45 seconds or so, man, I forgot to read that it was, you know, chopped and screwed, so to speak, right? So I was listening to it like, you know what I'm saying, it was just a slower record, you know, in general. But then eventually I was like, wait, his voice sounds like it's you know, like deeper or something. Like what is he doing, you know? And I was like, oh, no one, okay. So it's a chopped and screwed, more screwed than like also chopped, you know, everywhere. I feel like there would be way more chops, you know, in there for it to be both. But you know, just in this with the song in general, right? You know, you have a piano within there, right? So you already know if you can go in and really try to perform this live with somebody playing the piano, like that's your ultimate test. No auto-tune, just you getting in there, really trying to get in there with the vocal. The thing that I did criticize though, were like in that chorus which by the way, you know, appreciate you for having the chorus at all. But when in that chorus, you know, you sort of hit a certain tone at times, which I feel like is a little bit too high. Like it's higher than it needs to be in terms of the octave that you're using. Like I can hear where it should be, and again with like Melodyne or you know, simply putting it in the right key, it'll, I think, be in the place that it needs to. There are certain times where you do that usual thing with like not necessarily rapping on the same not rhyming where we think you're going to rhyme, right? Where you sort of continue on what you're saying on to the next line and then kind of finish it before the, you know, the downbeat and stuff. You know, I think it's a thing with your style. It's something that, like, you know, you do love, you know, to do. You just need to know how it makes other people, you know, feel, right? Like just the standard audience, I think they feel like it's a little bit more of a run-on, you know, kind of sentence or whatnot. You're like, you just continuing to talk when they're supposed to respond to you, but you just keep talking, you know what I'm saying, before that the response is able to come up. You know, sometimes I'm just waiting for you to hit those standard points. I have heard you do it in certain records. And I think there will be records that do work more perfectly with how you are trying to rap, you know what I'm saying, in that style or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Like you have to figure out that structure and timing. Again, if I were recording you, I always got to bring that up. If I were recording you, I would guide you in the right places and sort of like, okay, he wants to say this. Why don't you say it and then like in the line right here, and then in the next line you come back in, you know, and you know, coming like this. Well, at least
bitch, I'm living like
change your mind.
My name Ricky Bobby. Me getting racks is my only hobby. When we go hit the wrist, bitch, we fuck up the lobby. I only want me, yeah, no one can copy. We go hit the scene and fuck it all
it's
up.
It's called Ricky Bobby.
How I'm brought
also
up.
chopped and screwed.
All them days I was broken, so very down and also very caught up. I ball like I'm Kobe when I do go ball up. Always stand tall, yeah, I never fall up. Yeah, fuck going broken, now I'm all up. Everyone screaming out youngster when I do go pop up. Yeah, everyone scream out my name whenever I do go pop up. Always stand down, never for the lock up. Fuck being down, cause now I'm all up. Yeah, it's the instructor, yes, you know my name. Bitch, getting racks is my only game. Now that I'm up, swear life ain't the same. Now that I'm up, swear life ain't the same. Whoa, now I'm on top and you go feel my flame. Yeah, fuck all the times I was broken, whistling through the rain. Yes, now I'm on top and go feel my pain. Yeah, times I was broken, walk through the pain. Yeah, shit so much, and I mean that's so much in my lane. Bitch, now I'm on top and got that fast whip, that's all in my name. Like, bitch, I'm on top and now
once again, this is also chopped and screwed.
touching my living like fat like my name Ricky Bobby. Making the racks is my only hobby. When we go hit the wrist, cause we fuck up the lobby. I only want me, yeah, I know what can copy. We go hit the scene and fuck it all up. Stay on your grind is how I'm brought up. Yeah, fuck all them days I was broken, so very down and also very caught up. I ball like I'm Kobe when I do go ball up. Switch, always stand tall and never fall up. Yeah, fuck on my bro, bitch, now I'm all up. Everyone screaming out youngster when I do go pop up. Yeah, everyone scream out my name when
we got till 10 o'clock.
Go pop up.
It's 9:20 right now.
Never afford to lock up. Yeah, fuck being down, cause now I'm all up. Yeah.
Now I'm all up and shit. Sometimes I never wanna like freaking give up, but like fuck this shit. A lot of times I just really wanna tell y'all that I like pop my head inside and I'm stuck in it.
Big salute. What do you guys think about that?
Out of the two, where you guys at? I mean, so here's another thing, right?
I feel like when it comes to most people, right? When it comes to like a chopped and screwed record, people favor them more when they're familiar with the original song and it's something that they like, and it's now they're hearing like a remix of the song that they already know, right? So when you're hearing the chopped and screwed version first, you know, it may have a different effect on, you know, people's outlook of the record, right? Because it's gonna be a lot slower, you know, sort of like disjointed in a certain way. The original version is, of course, a lot faster, you know what I'm saying, obviously, and you know, has a lot more, you know what I'm saying, energy or whatnot, so it's gonna hit, you know, different. This does give them a, you know, at least, you know, closer look at the song and more time to sort of get in there with certain, you know, vocals or whatnot. And then yeah, at 10 o'clock my time, it's 9:21 p.m. right now. Whatnot, I just gotta head out. I'll head back. I'll determine whether or not, you know, I'll be able to come back and you know, continue the show or restart, you know what I'm saying, tonight, if everybody, you know, is still awake by that time. But we'll see what's up. We'll see what's up. And you said, is that a 21 Pilots you know, sample? You know, he needs to tell you in there. You said it's from Sucker for Pain. I'm a sucker for pain, and I'm a sucker for pain. What up, Johnny? GMC, you know what I'm saying, was freaking popping as well. And what did you say? Well used, man. There we go. There we go. And then you said mix. You vomited on it, you know. Here's Johnny, you know what I'm saying? So he did not like. But again, also due in part to the chopped and screwedness, man. You know, so you gotta watch out when you do certain things. You know, it will affect how people see stuff. You know, I will say that, like, the one thing I didn't kind of mention at all via both of these was the like, he does, you know, kind of punch in when he gets in there on you know, most records. And you know, for some reason it was not as noticeable, you know, this time around and stuff like that. I guess because we're just, you know, again, we're able to get through in a different way. But you know, I always recommend that even if you punch in while recording the record for the first time, you know, you want to learn your song and go in and perform it. So many artists are like too lazy to go back in, and it's like weird because, you know, you still have to write your song, right? If you punch in and kind of like loosely freestyle, you know, each line, right? Like after everything's said and done, when you're gonna try to release you gotta copyright your shit. Right? So you're still going to have to write your lyrics down anyways. You might as well, right? You know, either do it as you go or write and then, you know, write, remember, and, you know, record essentially. and or after the fact, right? If you sort of punch in and put together a song, write it after that. You really like sit with the song for about a week, really listen to it, do the same thing with other songs that you might have, and then go back and re-record it like as far as you can. Like make it a challenge, man. I need somebody to start this damn challenge so it can become something that's popular that just like artists like do. Because if you test yourselves and actually really see how far you could go without having to punch in, without having to, you know what I'm saying, like get in there and, oh man, I didn't have breath control on this. Like that's what usually happens because you don't think about breath control when there's so many punch-ins. You literally come in the moment you leave, right? And then like that moment that you sort of like left for a second could have been a moment to breathe and then say another line. But when you pop right in the moment that the last line leaves, literally when you're performing it live, like, it doesn't feel as cohesive, or you're, bumping into yourself, you know what I'm saying, with certain words. And I want to kind of, get out of that. Let me see what we got in the line.
Let me see what we have in the line.
Let me stop it. Jump in here real quick. You jump in here. Right, so we have a skip GMC. Again, you gotta remember it is 10. It's 10 per song, and you sent 10, but you sent like 5 each, as if it was gonna be for each song and stuff like that. But it is 10. It is 10 indeed. So do make sure you how you say let me get one of them. Or 15 for 2.
That you wish that you had, but homie, I'm playing old school games where it's all up for grabs. You know me. I love gold. I got a big stick of gold where my thing used to be, just because.
But producers, I think I'm willing to let you guys get like 2 beats for 10. That makes a little bit more sense and stuff like that. For producers, like, again, I do not want to at all break the bank for you guys, right? Because you're still technically trying to sell your beats, right? And so I'll be willing for producers. You guys can always get a 2 for 10 kind of situation. You throw in the 15, it's 3, and sort of like you guys can get that half off thing.
They noticed the line and crossed to certain stories I could tell.
All right, let's get it in. All good. I'll add the thing.
The money that shows the highs, I don't know why I try. It hurts some more. It hurts some more. Oh damn, I miss my family. These drugs are damn deceiving.
Well, you only needed really 15 for the other.
In my darkest, not ashamed, calling out a lot of game. Promise that I wanted, but I knew that I would do the same. Shooter with a Ruger coming at me with a scooter, robbing me of all my loot, and then I'm ducking in a sewer. Skip it, I maneuver like a scuba diver neuter. Coral reef that is in the depths of Bermuda. In the dark with no light, where the sharks wanna bite. Man, the streets in a game, they don't care who survived. In the wrong place and time, any white boy could die. One day you the man, and now you know you arrived. But so does your foes, and now they're gonna go and ride. So you better stay deep with at least 20 guys. Sin is like a chain that'll bang on a rock inside a cage with the locks that remains with the locks on the doors. Gotta knock, and
appreciate
I
you,
pray
Underworld.
that it
Thanks for
pops.
stopping by.
Sin is forgiven and it's often a lot. I'm saying I know he's risen, but I'm lost in the fog. I strayed from the path and now the cost was the fall. Please take me back like the socks at the mall. And my sins are forgiven, that I'm asking for all. Wage of sin, death of men, 1,000 years invested in. Open up and read the page, Revelation sets the stage. A beast has come, the secret side, I say this now without a doubt. The world has come to see its fate, Armageddon mark the date. The truth has now come to you. The end of this is all too soon. The truth has now come to you. The end of this is all too soon.
So much pride in my life, but I'm orange like a ball. But in spite of it all, I will climb till I fall. I need you, Lord. I will climb till I fall.
So much pride in my life, it unwinds like a ball. But in spite of it all, I will climb till I fall. So, on with the games, strongest remains. When the mud is on your face, that's the blood that you taste. The battle that you find yourself is won by your faith. Not a weapon that is made by the hands of a man. If you put your faith in God, he's got a plan for you, man. Like a blueprint in hand that's designed for a tall building that's constructed never to crash and fall. Unlike 9/11, man, I'm blessing him in heaven. And your faith is 1 to 10, bro, I want you at 11. And to reach another level that's above a lot of devils. The truth has now come to you. The end of this is all too soon. The truth has now come to you. The end of this is all too soon.
Looking at the end of this, a lot of freaking people, like people popping up, sending shit. Matter of fact, I don't even know what the hell I'ma do, but I freaking opened the door to the freaking house that I entered it. Then I freaking saw this like ghost, and then
Sorry, did you say you were bumping Atari? That's a game system. Hey, listen, are we gonna play all these games at the party?
I wasn't supposed to press that button. It was the clap button. So first and foremost, I like that record. You got in there, you know, and I was talking to GMC, by the way, with the number or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just waiting on GMC to give me the number for the wheel. I think, you know, you did your thing, you know what I'm saying, in this, right? When it comes to, you know, records that, like, with that kind of production, it often fits in, you know, more of a life music kind of vibe, right? Songs about, you know, that pain, the struggle. You know, it's always real stuff. Ain't no way you can hear a beat like that and then you go in and try to do something, you know, stupid or make it a strip club song or something like that. Like, by all means, you know, an artist can do whatever, but it just won't fit. It won't feel like it matches, you know, the beat. So when the artist, you know, does the job, right, you know, they know to adapt to, you know, the record, make sure that the content, you know, it kind of matches up, you know what I'm saying? Energy wasn't too crazy. He didn't get in there and go get hype or aggressive or anything like that. But like there's also a piano in there. So with that, you know, you can actually hold on, let me jump back in here. I don't even know how I got there. With that, you can you know what I always love to say, you can perform it live, have somebody playing the piano and really just bringing your song to life, right? You know, like I always tell you, put together those random spontaneous moments where, you know, you have someone, right? It could be yourself if you want, if you know how to play it, but if not, right, you just have someone have a piano somewhere where they can actually sit down and play, where they're not all of a sudden asked to stop, you know what I'm saying, via you know, security or something like that. You know, where they can sit there, kind of play, you know, some known kind of records via the piano, right? Things that people would know, amaze them in that way, right? Then at some point, right, have them break into your, you know, instrumental, right, with them playing the things that we hear, you know, with the keys, and then, like, you know what I'm saying, you just like pop up, start rapping, you know, your song or whatnot, right? Like people will love to see a, you know, real performance. And then, you know, it would be hilarious if somebody else just happened to be, you know, there and they added to your song, right? I was imagining like an R&B kind of artist, someone who's very soulful, just all of a sudden, you know what I mean, they come in when your chorus is supposed to be there, and then they,
you know, kind of just do something like that. That would even surprise, you know what I'm saying, you and that, you know what I mean? If you can make that happen, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying, you want to go viral, a lot of times all you have to do is create real moments where real people are, you know, you kind of get their reactions of what's happening, right? Easily, if any of you guys drive Uber, I talk about this a lot, and it's you know, if you're an artist, whether you do the like, can you listen to my song, let me know, you know, how I'm doing, you know, type thing. But like that, I feel like people would be honored to see you perform your song, right? So if you drive Uber and then like, you know, you get people to spill of like you're an artist, you know, you're trying to, you know, make it, and you want to know if you have what it takes and stuff, and you know, would they mind, you know, listening to a song that you just wrote or something, right? And you like just throw on the beat and then, you know, kind of perform it in front of them. That is the true test to really see how good you are or aren't, because often, especially if you have like an emotional kind of record, right, that person will feel, you'll start to see tears, you'll see it in their face. If it's something really good, you know, you'll see that enjoyment and like the surprise, you know, of, you know, just how they feel, especially if like you kind of play it off like you just started or something, and you know, and you're better than, you know, what they thought you were gonna come up with, you know what I'm saying? So hold on, let me spin this wheel for the judge. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is for GMC. I don't know why you said 7.8. I can't shuffle it 7.8 times. Today was the first time it got, you know what I'm saying, mixed, so we're still working on it, man. Not bad, not bad. Not bad within there. You said Teddy Swims does something, you know what I'm saying, kind of similar, man. That's what's up. And some people will just, you know, pacify you if you ask them. But if you simply play it, they'll usually ask about sounds they connect with. That's true. 2-song Insta Skip, GMC. You got a 2-song Insta Skip. Those are the fastest skips we have on the show. Well, Insta Skips just in general. But big freaking salute. So we'll see. I mean, that's what you won. Thanks to you getting us to the 100 so far. We get to a 200 or 300 before we end our stream. We'll do another one. And as a matter of fact, I may at like 9:50 do a giveaway for those that are in the building. That way we can, you know, still get you guys in, because I do have to head out at 10. So we'll see what's up. Let me go ahead and put in. He did put in a second record, so we do have that. But like, I mean, again, it really that is the thing though, right? Not everybody is gonna feel every song that we do, and so trying to figure out what our best records are that resonate with the most people, but also in each individual, right? You give them the choice of just like, you know, even more, just like have a desk, sit down. If anybody wants to sit down and you know, just simply listen to your stuff like live, you know what I'm saying, and just like kind of like review it. And all you got to do is like tell them, put these headphones on, and then like go to one of these 5 songs. Tell me which one, you know, resonates with you. Which one is your favorite? Which one makes you want to listen to pretty much all of it or whatnot, right? And so they can skim through one of the freaking 5 or whatnot, and you know, go through, land on a song that they resonate with, and you know, kind of just give you their assessment of that and why they stopped on that. Again, it'll be fun to see which records that you know, the majority of people picked versus, you know, if everyone had, you know, a different one. And you know, like, you know, it was when I dropped my albums, you know, that was one of the first things that I did. Not necessarily go out in person, but I sent my albums, you know, to very specific people. I said, look, you know, just let me know what songs that you came back to more than once, right? And you know, if you have time, you know, if you would have ordered the songs in a different way, let me know, you know, that or whatnot, right? And so, you know, people had fun kind of going through and really thinking about that, which are the ones that they were worth going back to, you know, more than once. And everybody had a different, you know, one, right? So it was hard to pinpoint which ones were, you know, the full favorites, because everyone had, you know, their own, and it was like, you know.
When tempted, no
But
one should say,
in all fairness,
God is tempting me.
my albums
God
were like
cannot be
18
tempted by
songs
evil,
each.
Nor does he tempt anyone. But each person is tempted when they are dragged away by their own evil desire and enticed. Then after desires conceive,
I gave people a lot
it
to
gives
go
birth
through.
to sin. And sin, when it is full grown, gives birth to death.
GMC, conflict. Demons in my mind, and I'm fighting all the time. Demons in my mind, and I'm fighting all the time.
Ironically, this song is called Demons in My Mind.
Lead me back into the streets when I'm giving in again. I'm feeling that I'm in defeat.
He said,
man, I'm digging deep on this track. I'm about to speak, and even though I'm feeling bleak, I'm just about to take a leap. Let you see inside a man that is risen from his pride, and deep within his eyes is the lust that you will find. Always make excuses when he knows he's out of line and too busy trying to shine, impressing people with the rhymes. I'm feeling like I'm falling, sin inside me's got me stalling, even though I know he's calling. Man, I'm feeling so appalling, something like I'm Gollum, lost alone and solemn, crawling through the darkest, feeling like I'm on the bottom. I know there's better days, but right now I feel astray, lost alone inside a maze and chasing cheese until I'm great, like a creature that is caged, turning green from all the rage, writing down a lot of sins and then I'm tearing out the page. Cause even when you're saved, man, you're gonna feel defeat when you fail to go delete all that sinning that you keep. Demons in my mind, and I'm fighting all the time. Demons in my mind, and I'm fighting all the time. They never give me peace, lead me back into the streets when I'm giving in again. I'm feeling that I'm in defeat.
Demons in my mind, and I'm fighting all the time. Demons in my mind, and I'm fighting all the time. They never give me peace, lead me back into the streets when I'm giving in again. I'm feeling that I'm in defeat.
Bro, I can't give into this, so I gotta end it quick. Gotta make a prison break, cause if not, man, I know I'm laid deep inside a sinner's grave, paying for my willful ways, saying that I know I'm saved while walking down a path that's straight. Man, I know it's last of days, that is why I'm last to say that I'm righteous in his eyes. When I'm sinning, seeing signs, watch a blood moon take the sky, rising high until they cry. Sinners know they out of time, cause when he comes and says goodbye, the earth is gonna start to die and fill with blood that's bright or high, pointing down the truth that means there's three left at me, convicting me of things I know that shouldn't ever be. Repentance makes me free, and that is where I need to be.
That boy also head to my YouTube if you can.
I'm gonna need every bit of sin and leave inside me that I used to feed, cause without you I'm indeed walking dead until you breathe life into me like a seed that gives me strength to go and fight.
Let's go.
Demons in my mind, and I'm fighting all the time. Demons in my mind, and I'm fighting all the time. They never give me peace, lead me back into the streets when I'm giving in again. I'm feeling that I'm in defeat.
Demons in my mind, and I'm fighting all the time. Demons in my mind, and I'm fighting all the time. They never give me peace, lead me back into the streets when I'm giving in again. I'm feeling that I'm in defeat.
Just so I don't forget it, right? You know what I'm saying? Because I do like that section, you know, or those parts right there, right? Where you sort of change the tone of, you know, what the whole, you know, aspect is. However, if I were sort of doing it, what I probably would have done is only do the sort of tone switch with the beat, but I'd make sure that you actually still go back over the new vocal, you know, or again, go over it, you know, with new vocals to get that other tone. If you're able to do it. If not, then
demons in my mind causing fights
that where it is.
between God and Lucifer. I've lost a lot of friends of mine through the pharmaceuticals. You take a look into my eyes, it's horribly brutal, bro. A needle took his life, got shot with tar that's shootable. I'm hugging on his mom while we're trying to start his funeral. When will we learn that life is more than numerals? I guess never. All these devils cause chest pressure. Artificial relief is crushed lines on desk dresses. I put my faith into a man that was impaled on a cross, giving light to the addicted, jailed in the lost. Here's the key to release me, cause I'm sealed in a vault. I know it's the demon that's in me, but it seems it's my fault. God forgive me for my sins, I'm just a person made from dirt. So I'm doing all I can, and Lord, I pray that it works. And banish these demons before I have to face the hurts. My spirit's place is heaven, while my flesh's grave is earth.
Demons in my mind and I'm fighting all the time.
Demons
in my mind and I'm
yeah,
fighting all the time. Demons in my mind and I'm fighting all the time. They never give me peace, bring me back into the streets. When I'm giving in again, I'm feeling that I'm in the fetus.
give me some ad-libs. There's a lot of thinking people who may not didn't live if you know that you had kids in the back, they get the back, man. Interesting. Interesting choice to make that song a little. It was an interesting choice to make that one a little bit, you know what I'm saying, longer, being, you know what I'm saying, it's a little bit, you know, slow. So I am always wondering, you know what I'm saying, how people feel depending on, you know, the length, the energy, different things like that. Because, yeah, you do have a lower energy with your style, where you go, how you sort of, you know, rap on a beat. You don't necessarily get in there and, you know, get, you know, too aggressive or, you know, do the speed rapping, you know, thing, which, again, those are all things we would love to see if you were, you know, able to do, right? Like, would you still do what you're doing now if Twista had also got on the song with you? Or would it inspire you to, you know, go a little bit faster in terms of, you know, where you're going or whatnot, right? And the vibe that I often get is like a couch locked sort of vibe, like a you staring into space while you're, you know, you're going through a lot of things in your head, right? And so, like, you know, the experience, we don't get to see that experience, but you do, and sort of like the video just sort of catches you just, you know, nonchalant, you know what I'm saying? Just, again, the demons are doing all kinds of things. Like, you're walking around and it's like fairly normal, right, to what we're seeing. But then we look in your head, right, because that's where the demons are. And then, you know, they're basically making everything around you look, you know, completely different. Just messing with stuff. You know, it really depends on like what kind of visuals that you want to have for something like that. Because we do have a time thing, I do gotta hurry up with this. So we do have.
I am crazy in the range, like trying to change a baby in the rain. Zombies aren't afraid to feel the pain. Your brain will disappear like David Blaine. Barely had no time to play no games. I just wanna rhyme and stay away from lames. I be writing every day, making beats like I am Dr. Dre. Even though I should be locked away, I'm not, man. I should get down and pray. I just wanna fly and run away. Try a gun and buy another cake. I'm about to drop another tape. Lots of other stop your.
All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna play this, and probably at the same time I'm gonna try to start the giveaway right now. So everybody else, if you're also in the building, if you hashtag Dork Squad in the chat, you will be able to participate. So we can do that before we head on out. And again, if I do have time, I will come back tonight. If you do not see me tonight, you will see me tomorrow.
They don't want none of us like a Cincinnati cops, bro. At the line of scrimmage, you're the ones that will not show. Welcome to the jungle, streets don't play. When the cops come around, better know what to say. Welcome to the jungle. Welcome to the jungle, baby. Welcome to the home of Pac-Man Jones. We got a lot of dogs and he isn't all alone. 51 third, listen what you heard. City on the river that is living on the verge of the greatest movement of music, but it's all a blur, cause I'm only coming around just to drop another sound. True to the game, that is optional main for these young wannabes, but I hate to complain. But if they wanna try, I can take all the pain. You can sack me tonight and then I audible the play. Like when Joe sees Jamar, he hits him on the fade. Pro with this, knowing this, spazzing out, I'm blowing this. This is not my last chance not to go 0-6. Finish up a record that I'm knowing now is so legit. They don't want none of us like a Cincinnati cops, bro. At the line of scrimmage are the ones that will not show. Welcome to the jungle, streets don't play. When the cops come around, better know what to say. Welcome to the jungle. Welcome to the jungle, baby. Cincinnati ain't a game, Candyland with the lames. It's a blood sport, but it ain't got a Van Damme on a chessboard. Son, you better know where to land. Opposition in position just to get you in submission. So look and pay attention, stay alive is not the mission. Don't get mixed up inside a criminal division. Mixing up the crack pot in another kitchen. And money's only good as long as you were not in prison. I bleed orange and black, belong at the zoo. Take away my stripes, that's a no can do. I'm never backing down, and no should you. Cincinnati ain't a tame animal you can tame. It'll bust through the locks and it roams the domain. A predatory tiger that should not be engaged. Bringing on this heat like it's green on the mound. Now I'm seeking to astound, changing everything around. Blowing up the game with a boom and a pow. I consume every vow, then I stand up to bow. They don't want none of us like a Cincinnati cops, bro. At the line of scrimmage are the ones that will not show. Welcome to the jungle, streets don't play. When the cops come around, better know what to say. Welcome to the jungle.
I like this one.
Welcome to the jungle, baby. Ain't seen one like this, I'm that son of a bitch. I don't cuss in my raps, I don't need all the crap. I'm a beast with the bar, attorney that'll spar. Gloved up and ready just to rock like I'm Maislin. Holding on the court with these words that amazing. Sit back and watch as I reach for the stars. Got some things in my bag, but I'll show you tomorrow. Brother, man, I tell you that I never felt as clever as I do right now. Cincinnati in the house, been a minute with my sound. 7 years I've been out, but in a couple seconds you'll forget about it now. Size 11 on the ground, it's a Bengal on the prowl. Welcome to the jungle, ready now to rumble. Silverback 8, man, is gonna give you trouble. They can see a double, lions will appear. Stripes in the grass, you don't know where it's at. You're alone and afraid, and he knows that's a fact. You're frozen and you're still, but this cat's got a gat. Give me all your stuff, every chain that you love. This isn't nothing personal, but aims at the truck. Welcome to the jungle, welcome to the jungle, welcome to the jungle, welcome to the jungle.
Alright, Wallflower, I got you.
Jungle, baby. Somebody please save me.
Oh yeah, hold on, let's go in here. So out of the two, I feel like this one could probably go a little bit, you know, further or whatnot, right? The mix felt a little bit cleaner, you know, within here. You know, it was a little bit more upbeat, had more, you know, energy within it, right? And again, until we hear artists with more or less energy, like we don't know, right? Like, so it's important to introduce people to different sides of you, and that goes for rapping, singing, you know, any type of beat that you're able to hop on, you know, just showing what you would do to, you know, different, you know, genres and sounds, and how well that you adapt. There's nothing about this personally that made me want to, you know, change aspects. I think I just want a music video, you know, hopefully coupled, you know, with this, and you know, we can sort of like see that, you know, get further within or whatnot, right? Just show a lot of the stuff that you're
talking about potentially in the video. Don't just do it like, here's me rapping at this location, and then here's me here rapping at this location, and then here's me here rapping at this location, and here I'm back at that other location that you saw me at first, and then I'm over here, but now I have a different outfit on. Now look, you know, oh, and here's that location that you saw from earlier, but now it's at nighttime. Listen, man, forget all the damn location. Sometimes, you know, like, you know, when you have concepts, it's like, be creative with it. Even more, I would argue, like, think about the rock bands that you've seen, right? Almost every single rock band ever to have a music video, they're all the most artsy, the most creative. It's like, let me perform somehow in the middle of the ocean where, like, you have no idea how we're standing on water with all the, you know, the equipment and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And it's like, we appreciate that. We appreciate when there's some creativity involved, and it's not just a standard, here's me in front of the camera doing this, right? You want to have something that's interesting, but also, you know, can potentially cater to the record itself. A painting coming to life, you know, type of situation. In this one, right, you know, you could almost blend a lot of things with a jungle, you know, if you want to try to go there and figure out things or whatnot. Might be a bit weird, but you know, just figuring out whatever that might. Yeah, cinematic, right? Visuals would add flavor too, man. Like, people need to know how important that kind of stuff is. So hold on, Wallflower, do you have a number 1 to 10? 1 to 10 from you, and then we'll spin this, and then we will again head out. Shout out to GMC with that last one. That right there is the one, bruh. That right there is the one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Also, I turned off my music. No, you're not. Yes, I am. No, you're not. Yes, I am. No, you're not. All right. Welcome to the jungle. Say Kaleo. Kaleo is the perfect example of that. You know who else? In terms of rappers, Token. Right? Literally, Token. I think really he's the best comparison that I can make, you know, probably against anyone when it comes to videos, man. Like, he has a lot of the craziest freaking stuff I've seen, you know, and I'm mad that I haven't done a reaction to a lot of them because they're all just as crazy, right? I think my favorite one I've seen, there's one where, like, he's rapping and then a dog is like just barking right at his face or something like that, and then I think it looks like it's rapping his shit. There's one where he's rapping and then another version of himself just keeps coming behind him every 30 seconds and then punching the previous version out. You know what I'm saying? And then he punches him out, and then he's rapping now, and then, you know what I'm saying, he's doing his thing, and then another one comes out of nowhere, punches that version and over, and then he's rapping. And I'm like, bro, like, I'm mad I didn't think of those videos nor have the means to actually film and make them come to life or whatnot. But it shows you the work that, like, if you get with the right people who can make these visuals come together, man, like, it's nuts. I definitely am gonna do some Token reactions and, you know, have those coming across the next few weeks or whatnot. Him, Lil Dicky also, because he has a very much, you know, like, Arrested Development kind of style of songs as well as videos. So seeing him in that feature discount, this would make it only $50 if you were wanting to do a feature. Comes with a VIP skip though, but if you don't make music or don't want to try something for that, I can just make it like 2 VIP skips if you want, or you can try to respin. It's up to you. But yeah, said Ren is another one who's visual and insane. That's what's up. Yeah,
They definitely gotta do something. I mean, like Ludacris and Missy used to have the craziest videos. Busta Rhymes as well. And like, man. All right, respin. We'll do one respin. See what you get this time. And then, where is the button?
Gotta catch 'em all to give her to the princess. I'm headed to the mall to go up on a big quest, and I'm about to ingest food. I should probably invest in sneakers in the big chest for more Pokeballs. I gotta catch 'em all to give her to the princess. I'm headed to the mall to go up on a big quest, and I'm about to ingest food. I should probably invest in sneakers in the big chest for more.
We do review music. But we are at the end of our episode. I literally have to head out right now. You'd have to send a paid submission in order for me to play it, just because we're literally about to head out. But you can send, and our stream tomorrow, we will be live then to recap and go through new submissions. And so subscribe to the stream, hit that like button, get at us tomorrow. And again, if you are trying to send a skip, we'll get you in right away. But I gotta be fair. Hold on. And bam. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. People sometimes would say I remind them of Chris Webby. Down. Ironically, I think you're about to get 2 skips. Yep. 2 skips. So I wanted to give you 2 skips anyways or whatnot. So those are 2 separate skips. Always remember, when you win these, if it doesn't say back to back or B2B, it means that you must separate them into 2 different emails. Free skip 1 of 2, free skip 2 of 2. And utilize them like that. So not bad. All right. Thank you guys for stopping by again. If I can come back, I'll see you guys freaking tonight and stuff like that. I may start off, gaming a little bit, because I do want to continue one of the horror games that I had been starting. And again, I'm trying to get the right settings proper so that it's not so slow when I try it, because that's been a little bit of a problem. But we'll see what is up. Let me close this. Close these. So I got stuck on Poppy's playtime, right? There's this section where basically I have to like whack-a-mole the bad guy. And he is hard to catch because he comes out of all these, like, there's holes basically all around you, right? And so I have to keep turning and doing this or whatnot. So that one is gonna stress me out for a bit, you know what I'm saying? And I gotta, make sure that I get at least past that. Then I'll, continue or whatnot. And I know that one's gonna be like a few hours, type of situation, right? But I also started playing a new game called Joyville 2, which is basically like, I love these type of games, the ones that kind of take place at the, the kids like, places, and somehow have an element of horror or whatnot, right? So Poppy's, Five Nights at Freddy's, anything that has to do with those kind of elements, I tend to have an interest in, just to see like where they go, because it's an interesting concept. It's something new that they just started doing more of, and I feel like it's a new untapped genre, even like in the movies or whatnot. Like, it took them this long to go and do like a Five Nights at Freddy's, which was based on the game itself. But like, just the fact that nobody even thought about that concept when it came to a movie, was crazy. And all of these games, by the way, right? Garden of Banban, Poppy's Playtime, Five Nights at Freddy's, Joyville. I still have to play Joyville 1 because like what the freak? Like I'm on 2 right now. They have, you know, it's just like the perfect concepts for like films. I know I'm about to go, man. Relax. Because I don't even have to play to be entertained, man. Hey, so we'll see what's up. You may see me tonight. I'll try to see if I can run it properly and get things in there. Yeah, what's up? What's up, my brother?
Bro, it's 2 in the morning, fell asleep and I'm yawning. Waking up on the lawn, I'm seeing blue and orange. People follow me to school and copy me until I stopped and put my music on. I'm just crawling like a zombie, gnawing on a Nazi, probably in his uniform. Born identity, homie, you've been warned. My brain is so...